Hello, everyone. Hi, and welcome to Nerds with Dice. Uh, my name is Hector. I'm going to be your guide today and telling an amazing story called The North Star, a powered by Wanderhome folklore punk uh, fantasy story. Uh, I'm really excited for this opportunity to share this tale. We are going to be using the system of Wanderhome from Possum Creek Games by Jay Dragon and their amazing team over there. Wonderful queer owned and operated independent fabulous gaming company slash collective community over there, and I was deeply inspired by them. And I also love folklore, and I love punk, as you can see. Nerds with Dice has allowed me to take you on a journey into the world of Casia, a place plagued once by 100 years of war. Many have forgotten why the 100 Years' War happened, but some did not. For some, it is deeply personal. That is where our tale is going to begin, actually. Brutus, the youngest of the 100 sons of the emperor, had cut a dark and bloody swath through his siblings, resulting in a catastrophic war. Wielding the heaven's blade, forged from ancient magic from the god at the heart of the forest that he had made a pact with. But there were others who suck out magic as well and made pacts with the many, many, many spirits that would become the small and forgotten gods. It was at the height of this war that Brutus himself had found himself in a stalemate against many others who coveted the throne, wielding the power of magic, the power of pacts with spirits. Brutus is in a vast, vast monastery that has been completely blockaded by forces of the King of the Thousand Norths. He is there with one of the sisters of the monastery, with his son. He turns to his son, the one that we will meet by another name, and he looks at him. The monastery shakes as some powerful force, a rock from a trebuchet, or perhaps a ball of fire from one who is inducted into the flame. My son, you are going to be the last hope that Casia has. I'm going to tell you something I haven't ever told another soul. And he looks over at the sister of the Ivory Monastery, nods to her. She nods, and she raises her hands, and a few threads of white light appear, and a sigil with just one word that means secret. And it glows white, and her eyes turn milky, and she becomes very, very still. And it's almost like she's. Have you have you ever seen someone fall asleep with their eyes open?
Yep, been that guy.
That is what that looks like. Your father turns to you and says, I've made a terrible mistake. You will be the only one that will be able to write it. As he takes the Heaven's Blade off the side of his hilt, his side belt, and puts it into your character's hands, Zeb. The sisters are going to put you into a ritualistic sleep. You will wake up in a time when the world needs you most, and you will win this petty war of pretenders and lead the people of Casia into a new dawn and be the leader I couldn't be. Lead because you care about the people, not because you care about the power. Do not be me. And he does a hand sigil in the air and invokes the old power and dispels the sister's enchantment. Oh, my son is ready.
Good night, Father.
Oh, do you respond? Do you say anything before you take leave of what are the last words that you have for your father before you take on a new name?
Good night, Father.
Good night. The memories are kind of staccato from here. There's like soldiers come in, your father draws out a sword made of pure fire from the air. You're running through, you and the sister. There's like robed rituals, and it ends with a sarcophagus being shut and a deep, deep, dreamless sleep. You wake up blurry eyed, looking around, uh, and in a table, there is an inn that is filled with bustling activity, um, people going around getting drinks, the smells of breakfast in the air, and all of you are sitting at a table uh, around. I'm going to take a brief pause for everyone to introduce themselves above table before we describe who our travelers are. I'm your guide. Hello, everyone. Hector Reyes, also known as Keiichi Okami. Uh, and these are our travelers. If you all could just share your names, pronouns, your characters' names and pronouns, and then we will dive back into this amazing story. But before we go on, I would like to thank Zeb, for opening up this tale for us. So, Alex, will you kick us off and then toss it to another person?
Sure. My name is Lex Wilson. My friends call me Alex, and so should you. And I'd be playing a conch. Conch uses he, him pronouns, and so do I. Conch is a night lantern, or the night lantern in this group. Rice.
Hello, I am Rice or Rice Cakes. I go by they, she pronouns. And today I am playing the witch of this group. Um, Her name is Lun, and I will toss the presentation further to Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm Critical Spark 20 on all the medias and things, but call me Katie. I use she, they pronouns, and so does my character, Ophelia. I'm playing a bard, which will surprise none of you who know me. Yeah, and I will pass it over to Clown. That's who we have left, right? Yes.
Hi, uh, I'm Clown, both a name and occupation, insult, whatever floats your boat. I also go by Seb, short for Sebastian. I use he, him pronouns. I'm going to be playing Yabe, the penitence one, who uses he, they, it.
Now back to the studio. Now
Yes,
back
yes,
to the
yes, yes.
studio.
Studio. Sorry, you just sounded like you were fading out there a little bit, Seth, but that's fine.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just a
there we
touch.
go.
Uh, all right. So you're around the table, and I will start with Yabe. Um, if you could describe what your character looks like, uh, the basics on your sheet, so your look, you know, two things you are, two things you're not, kind of the basics of the pick lists, and the two people the person that is sitting to your right and the person that is sitting to your left on the table.
Sure. So around this table, I'm just gonna make an executive decision that it's a round table.
Yeah, you got it.
Uh, is a tall and kind of lanky thing with this big, wide brimmed hat, as well as a long scabbard that they're currently leaning on. They got lots of little scars and pockmarked all over him. Uh, there's a pack of smokes hanging off his belt, along with another of seashells, and he seems to be bobbing his leg, along with his nervous tick of whistling a bit under his breath. This is Yave. For the character sheet itself, two that he sometimes is exhausted or furious. Two that he refuses to be is heartless or terrified. As the penitent one, he has a sword sheath at his hip. He can unsheath it anytime he wants. He must never unsheath it. It is starving, and it was once gifted to him by a proud parent. Should I go into the lessons or just jump into questions for now, Hector?
Oh, Hector, you're muted. Still muted.
Wow. Look at me being overly polite, being all muted and stuff. Uh, so go into the lessons. The reason why is because we want everyone at the table and the audience to get to know the characters before you ask the questions about how you're all related.
Understood.
Hmm.
So, a lesson that Yove has learned is that an MC soldier once taught him that there's no better feeling than sword cutting skin, and this is why he must never unsheath his
Your mic is doing that thing again. Sorry to interrupt you, but
Your
it
mic is
got quiet
going
again.
out. Oh, yeah, your mic is fading in and out.
Okay, I'll speak up. A lesson that Yeve has learned is from an MC soldier who taught him that there's no better feeling than sword cutting skin, and this is why he must never unsheath his blade. Lessons that he's since forgotten. A friendly old innkeep taught him that a well-made bed can save more lives than an army of warriors, and this is why I must never unsheath my blade. Then I saw in the eyes of someone I once thought was heroic the fate that awaits everyone who knows violence in the end, and this is why I must never unsheath my blade. Right now, he just kind of likes to fish, though.
Uh, no, he's just into fishing. That's all he's into now.
If this was good morning, if it was a good morning, Yove would be fishing.
Yes, yes. Always fish on a good morning. So let's see here. And I don't think there's anything else. Oh, you've chosen the magic of what magic
Oh,
path have you chosen? Like what spirit did you make a pact with?
yes. Should I go into what I get from that, or just say which spirits?
Oh, just say which spirit, and that way people have an idea.
Uh, so there are four of each, and each spirit has two paths that diverge from it. I've
Mhm.
chosen the path of dark, and from that, water.
Yeah. Yes. Uh, every single one of our travelers, and this is one of the things that is different from Wanderhome in the setting of Casia, is blessed by a powerful, powerful primal god that has taught them a form of magic. And these are the only spirits that did not give out their powers during the Hundred Kings War, which left many spirits sadly small and forgotten as a result. Um, so, who are the two? Was there anything else, I think, from the penitent one? That nope, you've told us your lessons. All right. Uh Go ahead and pick someone else to move on to. Actually, two people, the person to your left and the person to your right. And one of those people will pick up the description.
Who do you want to sit with?
Who do you want to sit with?
Pick
Yeah.
us.
All right. I think to my right, probably sharing in that little nervous energy of like bobbing, is someone very colorfully dressed, Ophelia. And to my left, I think there sits Celine.
Ooh. All right. Ophelia or Celine, which one of you would like to introduce yourselves next?
I'll go.
Well,
Okay.
I will let Ophelia go first.
Yes.
Ophelia would go first.
All right.
Like
O-
realistically.
All right,
um
Ophelia, what do we got?
yeah, so Ophelia is she's the bard. So, I'm just living out my best, like, fairy ADHD, like, manic pixie dream girl without the bad connotations life. Um, she has, like, really long, curly, sort of like strawberry blonde hair. It's curly and like beautiful, but also like unkempt, and like there's like little like twigs and things coming out of it. There's like you can see she's like braided some bits into it. Nothing is very cohesive. There's like a brightly colored feather on one side. There's some sort of like glass beads kind of hanging out. There's either like magically or using some sort of fantasy hair dye has like made these streaks of beautiful sort of sunset into twilight colors. But it has not been brushed, probably. I mean, not supposed to brush curly hair anyway, but like it has not been maintained in a hot minute for sure. Yeah, she's a tall for a female type person. She has these beautiful sort of like dip dyed sunset robes that again like fade into like a twilight color at the bottom with a sort of like dusting of stars at the edges. It's beautiful. It's also like it's not ripped or anything, but like you can see like she's spilt stuff, and like wine is hard to get out, and it's she's not messy, but she's a bit of a mess is sort of where we're coming at. And she has these beautiful butterfly wings that look as if they are made from like actual pieces of like dragonfly wings, like sewn together in like a fractal pattern to create these like ones that kids wear, like it's strapped onto her, and they
Mhm.
just sort of hang down and flow into the dress. And yeah, the my look, I have a gleam in my eyes, butterfly wings, and a sort of like it probably looks like those baskets that you take to go on a picnic, like a big picnic basket. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a big picnic basket that has like ribbons and beads and things tied onto it. And there's like things poking out of it, like fabrics of different colors and like a piece of a mask. And yeah, what else? As for her sort of the emotional stuff, two things that she is charismatic and hopeful, and two things that she wishes she was focused and self-validating. Um, so she's just me, but with wings on. Uh, the magic path I took was flame, but specifically in brackets star. Um,
And then your
yeah.
performances.
My performances. So there's 3 performances that I will gladly perform. There's more than that probably, but these are the ones that are listed. And there's one that I'll never perform again. So the 3 performances that she will always do is a dance that you dance with the many small and forgotten gods to earn luck and wisdom. A song you sing with an unfamiliar place to listen and to befriend, and a song that you sing with the broken down to remind it what it was and still could be. And the performance I'll never do again is a dance you dance with the deepest dark to bridge the gates of life and death. There are stories behind that, let me tell you. Things I carry with me. Yeah, I don't have lessons. I have things I carry with me. Everyone's got like a different
Mm-hmm.
thing here. So things I carry with me
Yeah.
is a small toy from an inquisitive child that I've promised to teach how to dance, and a jade necklace from a faraway village you once called home. So the necklace is around her neck, and it's like compared to the rest of this sort of like ornate, flowy, mess, it's quite simple. It's just like a simple chain with a little like teardrop style pendant on it.
Okay.
And the toy is probably in the basket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so same thing. You've
Mhm.
already had the person to, I believe you're on
I'm
one
on
side
I'm on
chosen.
the right, so that's
You're
my
on the
left.
right. You have
Yeah.
your person on the left chosen.
Yeah.
Who is on your right?
Well, the only one left. I'm just kidding. um, yeah, so I guess Yabi is on my left, and then on my right is it conch, like this, like the
Conch, like the
conch,
shell.
like the shell? Yeah, okay, just want to double check. So
Uh,
conch, I think that Ophelia is like sitting there with her head against the table, just like trying to see if there's still tree in the table. And is just like listening really hard while like looking around all these people, but she's just like, is it still a
all right.
tree?
So we're going over to now there's two of you left. So Conch or Celine, who wants to go next?
I sacrifice Celine
What?
as
Yes,
tribute.
yes,
Okay, Celine has been
Celine.
sacrificed. Let's go.
Yes,
So,
all right.
um, on the right of the, I don't even know what is a cool title, like the Forgotten Warrior, I guess,
The
is
penitent one.
Celine. It's Celine, the witch, which is pretty short. Um, they're just sitting there. They're always looking anxious or on edge, pretty much, and they're wearing this like very shabby waistcoat, and like you can see poking out of the like their pockets they have like breadcrumbs and candy, and on their back they have this like very big and sturdy like staff which is made of blackthorn, right?
Mhm.
um they're wearing this like apart from the waistcoat they're wearing on top of it like I don't even know, like a cloak of sorts,
Mhm.
which resembles a bit like a dragon, I guess. You can even call it a onesie if you want. I am 100% sure that it has the little tail and the little wings added on it just for the flair of it. But
We are gonna be
she
friends.
puts it on, whenever she puts it on, she looks very like eerie, and it just completely covers her face. If she
Ooh.
calls on to magic, she probably looks like a shadow or the dead or something. Um, which brings me to the two ways that she has been described before. Eerie and shrewd. It's the way that some people used to describe the witch. But she holds close the fact that at some point, either children or people she was close with used to call her understanding and comforting. Um, not surprising to the little dragon onesie that she's wearing is the fact that she chose the magic path of flame.
Nice.
But apart from that, one magic that she has known since childhood was knowing by instinct the secret names of every star in the sky and how their somber dance spells out the history of Keisha. She holds with care the fact that she can tell the fortunes by usual methods like casting runes, reading tea leaves, and dealing cards, and letting a kith name their fears out loud. but she can also listen to the past echoes of dragons' voices and mourning their passing through ritual gifts of food, drink, and gossip. But a magic that is no longer theirs because they've gifted it to another is binding a person's hurt, sorrow, or worry to a small talisman which they can hold on to as long as they need and discard when they're ready. An item that they carry very close to their heart, probably in like a front pocket or a pocket inside of the little cloak that they're wearing. It's a dried seed head from an extinct flower that a lost teen who needed to believe in magic again gifted her with their thanks.
Oh.
And another item that is losing its magic, which is also poking out of the other side of the coat, is an old lace shawl and a treasure keepsake from the monastery where she grew up in.
Cute.
But apart from that, they're just this like person with very like frizzy hair, it's just sticking out of all places. Maybe like a very badly made wolf cut of sorts. It's
I'm noticing
I'm
a
guessing it would
pattern.
probably probably
We're embracing the folklore punk here. I was very
yes.
specific in my aesthetics.
Um, they no doubt have like split hair color, probably done by magic or something. And then one side is probably um like orange, and probably on the other side like red, and it's just sticking out all places.
Okay. Uh well, last and definitely not least is Conk the Night Lantern.
It's conch. Isn't it
Conch.
conch shell? Isn't it conch
Conch?
shell, or did I
Yes.
get that wrong
Well,
too?
I think it's not
Uh,
spelled with a K for a conch shell, is it?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
but
No.
pronounced. Yeah. So I was pronouncing it conch, but I
It
can.
is a it is a conch.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It
I'm
So
sure
It
we're
he's
is a
a
saying it
conch
wrong.
shell, but
he
conch
is
sounds
Conch
better.
sounds better.
he is somebody who's constantly looking tired, and he will never correct anybody. He's just like, that's
Yeah.
fine. I'll just go with that.
So
Um,
what does
I'm
Conch look like?
I'm playing I'm playing Conch. He is a night lantern, and he has a staff. He's always wearing gloves, even inside. And one of the reasons for that is he has a bird that is constantly with him, and the bird sometimes gets a little peckish, and so
Aw.
he likes to keep his hands not getting bitten and nipped at all the time. Um, he carries a broken fiddle with him, which he keeps meaning to tune, but he just can't get around with it. He wears very baggy clothes. It almost looks like he's wearing a cloak, but it's not. It's just baggy. It's just too big for him, and and one of the reasons why he does that is because during the day his bird sleeps all day and is kind of like a cat in that it's constantly shifting positions. So right now it's he's his bird is sort of on his shoulder, and then like during the meal the bird will just sort of like crawl into a different space. He just looks lumpy. um and he calls his bird Lumpy. He doesn't. That's not the bird's actual name, but everybody thinks that's the bird's name because he keeps saying Lumpy. um
Aw.
he has very cowlicky hair, as if like bedhead. It's kind of short. It just looks like he is just
I'm
having a rough
noticing
go, like
a pattern.
constantly hungover. There you go. He also wears remember in the 80s, some of you, when people's sunglasses that look kind of like window
Hmm.
blinds.
Yeah.
So he has glasses that are made out of wood that are kind of like that. They don't work very well. And he's constantly like almost putting them on and then remembering he's inside. He really shouldn't. He just is so he sees light all the time because he's this night lantern person. And he's like, I I'm just,
I need a
just trying
break.
to save my night vision. I need a break from light. My bird is bright. Everything is light. I love light. I love my job. I just come on, give me something. So that's kind of what he looks like, and just looks like a tired guy. Um, he practices the dark magic of the deep, which we will get into later in the game.
Yeah.
He is endlessly patient. He is here for everyone. Two things that he can't be is he's a terrible judge of character, and also he feels like whatever he does, whatever he is, he will never be enough. Um, how I met my Lightwing named Lumpy.
Yes, please
It's a whole
share.
story. Too long to tell, and with plenty of incredible mishaps along the way. My Lightwing, my bird, is adventurous and inquisitive, and woe to all of us if he wakes up during the day because
Yep.
we'll have to repeat all of our stories because he wants to go. Wait, who's this person? Let's
Uh,
see.
Wait, does he talk?
they can,
Uh,
but
Lumpy does not.
that is
Sorry.
completely up to the they can, if that is the kind of story we want to tell.
Mhm.
Talking
Uh,
animals are common in Acacia, but that doesn't mean uh, not all lightwings talk. Some lightwings do. It just depends on the traits they have.
Lumpy will sometimes talk, but ever since I once said, "Oh yeah, let's have a conversation in public," he's basically refused to. It's basically like a cat. You say something like, "Oh cool, yeah, tell him about yourself," and Lightwing's like, "No, I don't talk," and just walking away. But around me, he will sometimes say things, but it's very seldom around other people. He's now known this group for a little bit longer. Is that right, Hector?
Yes,
So
yes.
he might start opening up or be at least be willing to say things in front of people, but usually he likes nonverbal communication and just likes to. He's like a cat. He's like when he's done with you, he's done with you for the day, and it's nothing personal. It's just
Nope.
yeah. So really, the light bringer role is my bird's role, and I'm just sort of the sidekick. Um, let's see. Is there anything else you'd like to know about
One light
me?
you keep lit, and then
Okay.
one that died out long ago. Tell us about them.
Okay. Sure. I have a pack of smokes that I do light. Try to every night, but I am going to run out of smokes at some point. It's a specific pack, and it's a figurative keep this light lit. It's not a literal like oh sorry I don't care if you have no smoking in here. And some something that died out a long time ago is the faith incense, and it was something
Mm,
that um, I still believe in my job question mark but I
right,
think it feels like on most days it's more out of habit and momentum and
right.
understanding like intellectual understanding that no this is important rather than my heart is in it and I actually believe that I'm making a difference in the world.
Okay. Well, uh,
A bummer. Dang,
that's
I
a
love it.
bummer. All right. Well,
But when
we
I get
have.
my fiddle fixed we're all gonna dance.
It's gonna be great.
It's surprising you haven't asked the bard in the party to fix your fiddle, but
We'll figure it out. So, at this moment, a couple of things that I want to let the audience know now that we have met our characters. The world of Casia is different from Hythe and Wanderhome. And uh, I just want to just kind of fire through a few things about Casia that are important really fast. One, it's called Casia. Two, everyone here is human, not animals. And livestock are no longer insects. Uh, there are we are going to be using the Wanderhome magic rules, which are also written by Jay Dragon and available on their Patreon. And each playbook, instead of being animals, has the magic traits that we all discussed in our character introductions. So let's begin getting into the very fun part. We're going to all ask some spicy questions, as we've called them. And these questions are going to explain how everyone knows one another and the journey that you all have gone on. You have all been together for a minimum of 1 month and a maximum of a year, your choice. Your group could have had different compositions. What matters is you are all a found family at the beginning of this, and by the end of this journey, hopefully you'll be an even stronger one. So let's build our little found family. We're gonna
I'm so
start.
excited.
We're gonna start with our harried Night Lantern, Conch, you get to ask one question of Yabe, and I believe no, not Yabe. You get to ask one question of Celine and one question of uh,
Ophelia.
Ophelia. You have a total of 4 questions. Don't delete the other questions off your character sheet because we do have another traveler joining us in the second chapter of our story, and we're going to want to keep those questions open to ask them.
All right. Katie. Sorry, not Katie. Ophelia.
Yeah.
Why does my Lightwing like you so much?
Ooh. Um, I think she probably like thinks it's the most beautiful thing she's ever seen, and like tells him that a lot, or tells them that. Does it have a pronoun for the? Is there a
I've been
pronoun?
using he, him, but
He,
please,
him.
why are you doing that? Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like she will, like, I imagine like the bird and the man are probably similar temperaments. So like curmudgeonly a little bit, you know, like kind, lovely, but also like I think this lumpy bird wants to get in the coat, and you know, but she would like take time to like croon and like sing him songs and like bring him bits of food and like tell him how beautiful he is. And so I think that like begrudgingly at first, but then like more and more he just loves the attention and like gets a little bit of like, that's right, I am the most pretty bird in the world. um yeah, I
So
think
you're
that's,
spoiling him, is what you're saying. Oh, that sounds
yeah,
great. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah,
All right.
100%. Yeah,
I
he's my
see how you
special little
are.
buddy. He's my special little buddy.
He's your special buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Lumpy appreciates
Is
you.
it? That's
You
right.
can
Is it?
edit that however you like, but I
Yeah.
was just taking notes.
Cool. Um, is it Selene or Celine?
Celine.
Celine. Uh, where do you wish I could guide you, and why can't I?
I think maybe Celine would want to go. Uh, oh god, that is a very good question. Probably somewhere close to, like closer at least to like where dragon spirits were more uh predominant, I guess, like they felt more powerful, like more that this is the place, this is where I feel the closest connection to them. But I think you couldn't because one, you didn't know the place, and two, it was probably too dangerous to go there.
I mean, I wanted to go, but Lumpy was like, no, no. Lumpy was too
Yeah,
scared.
yeah,
I was
pretty
fine
much.
with it though.
Yeah, yeah, sure. You keep telling yourself that.
Okay.
Okay. Where do we go now?
Next question.
That was it, right? That's two?
Did you do
Just
those two
two,
questions?
right?
All right,
Yeah.
excellent. One of you folks that was asked a question gets to ask 2 questions again. And we keep going round and round until we're done.
Okay. I will go. So I have Celine. No, I have Conch and Yabe, right? Okay.
Yes.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, they're
All
so
right, here
good. They're
we
so
go.
good. Here's the problem. They're so good. There's so many good ones.
I know. We got
Um,
this. They are lots of good ones.
um,
Did you write these, Hector?
yeah, did you
Or are
write
these from
these?
the Wanderhome? Yeah, because I don't think you can
Uh
say these are good ones. These are so good.
some of
I'll
these
allow it.
some
I'll
of
allow it.
these are most of this is it's edited. It's mostly the
Mhm.
ones from Wanderhome that I've adapted.
Cool.
They're all
Okay.
very good. I
They
would
are good.
say like 75% of the credit needs to go to the team at Possum Creek. But they're all
Okay.
very good.
Yeah, they're so good. Conch, why are you my best friend? And it can't be because of the bird
Oh,
thing, but it can be part of it.
I don't think Possum Creek wrote that in the rules. I don't think that you can.
It can't be because of the bird.
We're homebrewing the homebrew.
We're
Let's
homebrewing the
see.
homebrew. It's all good.
Well, yeah, but the obvious answer is that like if I'm mean to you, I'm in so much trouble. Uh, I think it has to do with music. I think that I'm might have used to be a bard, but not that kind of bard. More just a singer in the shower type guy. And I don't have that anymore, or I let that go in my life, and I kind of see. If maybe when I first met you, I was a little bit jealous. I was like, oh, there, but why couldn't have I done something like that with my life instead of being stuck with Lumpy?
Yeah. I
But
mean, like
instead,
my character sort of embodies like the
Mhm.
feeling of just like youth and whimsy and
Mhm.
like
Sure, yeah,
freedom kind of thing. Like she's not
sure,
tied to any particular like path she's chosen for herself and has a duty or whatever. She's just kind of like free. And so I feel like
sure.
that
Yeah,
probably has
that's
something to do
great.
with it too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, okay.
potential,
You know
and
what? Yeah.
oh,
You said you had a broken fiddle, right? But you didn't put it
I do. Yeah,
broken on your character sheet. What
Ooh.
if?
I
What if?
I broke it just before the game started.
What
It's been
if?
broken. Yeah.
What if it has been broken, but this session, this chapter,
Okay.
is the first night since she's fixed it?
Ooh.
Okay.
Like maybe the
I'll
reason
okay.
why you're all hungover is because when you know, you had a little party on the road and shared a bottle of wine before you arrived in the city,
Mhm.
um, playing your new fiddle, and this is the first time it's fixed. Just a suggestion as your guide.
No, that's great.
Y'all
Yeah.
That's
already
great.
put it down. We only got 3 episodes. Maybe you guys are just sort of celebrating in the wow, she fixed my fiddle. Like, what do I do
That's
now?
great.
I think she definitely would have like seen you sort of like plucking at it or whatever, but not be able to figure it out, and she would have like snuck in and like fix it for you and put it back so that it like was like magically
That's great.
fixed somehow. But it's got like feathers and shit all over it now, so it's like obviously it was her.
I love
Alex,
it. Yeah, that's great.
Why does Conch and Lumpy remind me of Banjo and Kazooie?
Yes.
with
Uh,
the annoying
is
bird.
it's more like the annoying human and the down to earth
True.
bird. The bird is the straight man in this comedy duo.
Yeah.
The okay, I like that a lot. Now, fix your fiddle is that feels like an American expression of like I'm going like a threat. Like I'm going to fix your
I'm
fiddle.
gonna fix your
I don't
fiddle.
know.
I'm gonna fix your
I want to
fiddle.
go. I want to go back to that. So I think this is all great, and I think where we became friends was as soon as I realized everything that you're doing is not about me. Like it's like, oh no, you really are, like just doing this because you love it. And it's like, oh, of course, they're their own person, and yes, they're living their life. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
And so since then, it might be a kind of like a mentor mentee vibe, but I have nothing to teach you. So it's just
Yeah,
like
it's
sort of
I'm
the
actually teaching
an
you,
old the
but
old
you
man
think
who's
you're
just
teaching
impressed
me.
and
Yeah, and he's like, this is
yeah.
just like I'm curing your depression slowly by like reminding you that like stars can look like
Mhm.
pictures when you look at them, and like the ground has stuff to say, and like
Yeah.
yeah.
Here we go.
Awesome. Cool. That sounds great.
Dark Souls font. Depression cured.
Okay. You have
Conch will
another
remember
Status
this.
token.
Status token. What's the
Yeah, I have Yabe on the other side,
oh,
and
here we go.
Yabe, why won't you ever dance with me?
I don't know how.
Look at my eyes.
He doesn't know how. He never learns. He has 2 left feet and he doesn't know how to admit it because he's kind of embarrassed about it. He'd never learned how.
So what does he say when she asks him to then? If he doesn't want to like admit it, like what does he like cough and say he has to go get some water for his sword or something? I don't know.
I love that.
I'm sorry, I have to water my fish that I just caught from
Yeah,
fishing. I'm gonna
no.
be right
I have to
back.
go wash my bird. I'm sorry. I can't.
Uh,
It's time for Lumpy
it probably
Sponge Bath. I have to go. That's not even
it's
your pet.
that's absolutely what it is. He keeps making up these bullshit excuses that do not make any sense. He's like, I hurt my foot. he's he
And
like
she's like, "Oh no, let's look at it. I want to make sure that it's okay." And then we start with this little
and he's like
smile.
and he's like, no. he he doesn't know how to dance, and he's afraid of bringing down how beautiful her dancing is by being bad at it, because he really likes watching Ophelia
Oh, my
dance.
heart.
My heart has just been run over by a truck.
Well, you should know that this is her now goal for the next 3 episodes is to
Mhm.
figure out why you won't dance with her and make you dance with her. Because everyone should dance.
Mhm.
Here we go.
So she probably feels like you just don't like her or something because she's
Yeah, there's this whole
Yeah.
misunderstanding that's come
yeah.
about.
She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay."
He's often has like the same expression on and
Yeah.
doesn't talk a lot, so I think
Yeah.
it's easy to misinterpret.
Yeah. She's gonna keep trying though.
Here we go.
She's gonna bounce back.
Who has been asked a question would like to ask questions? Because we got through our next two. I love this
Uh,
part. So great.
I can go next.
Yes.
I'm gonna start with Celine because I just had a question with Ophelia.
That's fair.
Celine, what craft have you been teaching me?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a very good
Witchcraft.
question. I think because Celine is this sort of person that they're very like overly worried all the time. You know, like those I don't even know those motherly over worried types that are go like, oh dear, you scrapped your
Mhm.
knee, I'm gonna get the full first aid kit sort of
Mhm.
thing. Or if you're or they're
Oh,
gonna be like
did
this sort.
Just mother hen
Mm,
them.
Wait.
yeah,
We got
pretty much.
something. What do we got? What do we got?
Rice.
Yes.
Rice, does Celine teach him how to make tea?
Yes.
Like herbal remedies?
Oh.
Yes. Selene is just teaches him how to uh get different herbs and how to brew them and what sort of tea works best for different things. Like, hey, if you want to sleep better, why don't you try some lavender or that sort of thing?
I think the
And
first time that he brewed a cup with you that was actually drinkable, you saw like the biggest smile on his face.
Celine started crying.
Oh,
Celine just started crying, and it's just this little thing hugging the Bam being
Yeah.
like, "Man, you did it! You finally didn't burn down the kettle."
If Ophelia witnessed this, she'd also be crying. It's
yes.
just so beautiful.
There was tears over tea, and
Well,
that's what this is
the
about.
Celine is just this type of person that would be like unhinged by accident, but also like overly worried and just scared of
Oh.
everything, being like, "Oh
Aw.
God, what if something happens? What if this? What if that?" Or and it's easily startled. Like, so when he didn't like burn down the whole thing, she probably was like more relieved than she has been all the time that she was teaching him.
Oh, all right. Yabe, what's the second question that you have?
Hey, Ophelia,
Oh.
Hi.
when did you realize that I'm a good person?
Well, that's a good one. Hmm. I think the first time we encountered something scary, and you didn't ever draw your sword. And like that, I was like, you've had it on sheathed the whole time I've known you. And then we encountered, there was like a, I don't know, a rabid bear or something in our camp, and your first instinct was not to draw the sword and dispatch of it. It was to like try other things, talk to it, use our magic, whatever. You just like you didn't reach for the sword, and I think that was her first like, oh, because you have a big scary sword, and so I kind of thought you were like a big scary sword person, but you aren't apparently because you don't use the sword, and I think that probably was like the first moment because you're quiet, right? Is like all I can do is context clues, so I'm like, I don't know if you're a good person. You don't talk to me enough, but like. I also think like she assumes everyone's a good person is a problem that she has for sure. So like she assumed you were, and I think that was the first time she was like, "Oh, that was nice. You did a nice thing." Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably a thing of if it was a wild animal, he let it away peacefully instead.
Yeah.
Scritched it behind the ears and so on.
Or like tried to cure its rabies or something instead of like attacking it. Yeah. Here, have
Yeah,
some
he
tea.
probably bandaged an injury.
Yeah. Yeah. So like kindness over cruelty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Magic. All right. Uh, Celine, are you the only
Yes.
one that hasn't asked questions yet?
Yes, I am, I
All
think.
right. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Yabe first.
Hmm.
Um, what support are you seeking when you tell me your troubles?
Oh god. Um
You're looking for answers. You just want to be heard.
one moment.
Mm.
I've He's looking for forgiveness from someone who can't give it and wouldn't know why to. So small things like learning from Celine every time she congratulates him for doing a good job, every time he gets praise for something that is so simple and so passive, every time he comes to him and helps Celine out and he gets a thank you, or he gets, oh, I forgive you for a very small mistake. He's not happy about himself with it, but he likes to interpret it in a different way.
I feel
He likes
like
to
Celine deep down would probably sort of know this. She doesn't know to the full extent where it comes from, but she knows. So she tries her best to like
Yeah.
like
The troubles
um
that he brings you are rarely his own and never the full story. So
yeah.
the support that you give is more than what he thinks Zoe knows.
So Celine's kind of your mom. Surrogate
Yes.
mom.
I think a lot of the support is also in purpose. He's learning a craft from you. He's getting
Oh,
some.
I can't hear you, Lev.
I think another aspect of that support is purpose. When he's learning from you, when he's helping you, it gives him something to do that's not just wandering around looking.
Right. I feel like Celine probably at some point promised him that, hey, if you want to stop like wandering around, you can like help me out because I'm just traveling around, helping different people in villages and stuff. So like I you can come with me. Like she totally now looks at Yabe like a sort of like a child that she want to take under her wing or
Yeah.
something.
Something to keep in mind as we go into the next question that you ask uh, is that as the witch playbook in this setting, you're the one that has the most connection to magic. You're the one who had magic before making a pact with any of the great spirits. So you kind of like are kind of like a mentor figure, you know, for some of these people because traveling from place to place or living in your own isolated hovel, that's the witch life. Um,
I think I think to sum up what I said succinctly for your question, what
mhm.
support are you seeking when you tell me your troubles? The answer is just a better mentor.
A better what?
A better
Mentor.
mentor.
Oh, ooh,
Hashtag family trauma.
ooh.
He's fine.
It's totally fine. You've got a sword that you can't ever open for no reason at all. It's totally fine.
Yeah,
It's totally fine.
it's
That
my
your
fishing
parents gave
pole.
you.
It's your fishing pole. Yeah. Your second question, Celine.
Right. My second question, just to conch. What time of the day do we sometimes sit together in quiet companionship?
Aww.
Oh.
Uh, you probably know what my question is going to be. Does Celine smoke?
Yes.
Oh.
But like a
She
pipe
like
though, right? Like a big old wizard pipe.
sometimes she does have like the wizard pipes and likes to make like different shapes with it, like bubbles or little stars or like triangles
Mhm.
and stuff. But other times she just like smoking so she can do like the dragon throughout her like nostrils.
Nice.
Is
Yeah.
Ophelia the only one who doesn't light up?
I
Oh
think
no.
That's
I think
because
she like
Ophelia
Uh,
is taking care of her voice.
well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Like,
you can get a nice smoky jazz going if you really want to. No, I think Ophelia is more like if someone offered it to her, she'd probably do it. She's not a no person, she's yes and, but like isn't the type of person to like have like affectations like that, you know, like things that like habits.
Mm,
So it's more like, yeah,
yeah.
she'll do it like when the spirit arises, like, you know, when you get to
yeah,
a party and someone offers you the drugs,
Socially.
you don't bring the drugs
Yeah.
socially,
yourself.
yeah.
Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Social smoker.
Yeah. But I think she really loves like, I mean, I'm just imagining all of these interactions that are private. It's just like me behind a tree being like, that's a
Oh,
great,
then
wonderful
that
moment.
is
Like,
it's certainly like Celine at some point just catches Ophelia like behind a tree and goes like, "Want to see a little dragon?" and just puffs her little pipe like a
you're
little.
a dragon.
so for
Yeah. I do love this idea that like there's like smoking time where like Conch and Celine just go to like have a smoke and set
It's
aside,
probably
and then
mostly
occasionally it's
happens
crashed
like
by the rest of the group.
it's probably like
and
at night too.
I was gonna say, like, when's
yeah,
Conch's like most comfortable time of day, considering the sunglasses and stuff?
I think maybe morning, but before we get to that, for viewers at home, Rice and I have actually met on another actual play that's currently going on, and our
Yeah.
two characters bonded because we took our smoke breaks at the same time.
Oh
So this
yeah.
is
That's why I wanted to
this is a
laugh so hard when you said
uh-huh,
smoking, and I
yeah,
was like, "Oh my
that
god, it's
and
just
that's why I went
rules and
there.
Nashor all over again."
Yeah. I forgot, and I'm the
That's
guide.
that's right, and Hector's on that one as well.
I'm just
Okay,
like
Hector,
so focused.
so
see, this is
so
what
I'm
happens when you miss your sessions.
Yeah.
So I think I think it'll be morning if that's cool with Celine is when we do our smokes. And one of the reasons why is that's uh, when Conch is at his most maternal, I guess, with Lumpy, because Lumpy has just had a long evening of being bright and like doing the work, and and then taking care of Conch as Conch is just defeated each night or just spent each night is probably where or sort of yeah, taking care of is where Conch is the kindest and most down to earth and most accessible, vulnerable, all these different things. And so
Dawn
they have a
Patrol.
smoke. It's just yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a way to cap off the evening for Lumpy, and it's a way to start the day for Conch.
Okay. Well, uh, we've got the morning smoke, and we have asked all of our questions. Uh, everyone is around the table. Yabe, you've just woken up from a powerful memory dream. Um, and you're looking kind of blurry eyed around your friends as a spread of breakfast is arrayed in front of everyone. And you all remember that last night or early this morning, you made it to Port Guanaba, a beautiful port city shining on the coast, Acasia's southeastern coast. Sun harvest, the final month of summer, has ended. The days are growing longer, colder, and Yabe, as you remember, you're all at a tavern named Last Call, a place popular for its bardic open stage nights, located in the port city of Guanaba, a vibrant hub of trade, culture, and ships from all over the world, named for their vast municipal guanaba fruit orchards that you all saw and had to walk through on your way here. Um, all of you have gotten invitations from your friend, the innkeeper, Maya June, to join the Last Cause annual Orphan's Moon Court celebration. Moon Court being it's a holiday in honor, a feast in honor of the many-faced moon goddess, a celebration that heralds the coming of autumn, the thinning of the walls between worlds, spirits, and the world of mortals. Um, Often, during the traditional holiday, Kith put on trickster plays about her heroics with elaborate, colorful masks. And then after sundown, the vast majority of the community will go to a bonfire and enjoy dancing and feasting in their own masks. And the traditions of this holiday vary from place to place. But here in Guanaba, at the Last Call always hosts an orphan's moon court, which is for everyone who it became very popular after the war ended. A lot of people lost friends and family and, found family in other people. And as a result, anybody who is working in the port or who is far away from home and in the city of Guanaba and they need a place to go to celebrate, to have community, Orphan's Moon Court every time. And so we have met everyone at the table. We've gotten a glimpse into the past of one of our travelers. And we have a beautiful place that we're all going to share a holiday. For right now, we're going to take a little 10-15 minute break, and then we'll come back and continue our journey. All right, we have returned from our break, refreshed. We have gotten to know our characters. We know one another. And so you've all arrived at a new place. You are at Port Guanabana at a table in a bar called The Last Call. Um, Drinks are being served by the jolly innkeeper, Maya June, who is a friend of all of you by various different means. And strumming on his mandolin on stage, uh, lit by a patch of sunlight and his brilliant personality, is Damien the Nightingale, a traveling bard who you've shared the road with a couple of times in your journeys together. And you're all sitting with one another sharing a morning meal. It is the morning of the holiday of Mooncourt.
Exciting. I have a question about. Sorry, was it Damien? Was that his name?
Yeah,
It's a
Damien the
good name.
Nightingale.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
Um, so we've traveled before. Can you tell me a little bit about like his style of bard? Like I'm just trying to figure out whether like I idolize him or whether like he's one of those bards that are kind of full of shit and you're like
Oh,
and it's kind of
okay.
like a fun rivalry thing, or is he like actually just
Damien
fucking incredible?
Damien the Nightingale is kind of like what in the modern day we would consider to be like like a DJ or like a wedding band host,
Okay.
but in Kgia, that's like really popular. Like he
Hmm.
knows a lot of songs, he knows a lot of common songs, he knows a lot of songs people like. He has a few original songs, but for
Okay.
the most part, he's a walking, talking, singing jukebox by
Okay.
himself. If other people want to sing, like if you're like, "Oh, I want to sing Greensleeves" or "I want to sing Red Rover," he's
Yeah.
like, "I got it." He pulls out his mandolin and he just starts playing, and it
Why are
sounds,
the
It's
why are
it's a
those your
very
two
specific skill
default
set.
songs?
huh? What? What?
I need two songs: Green Sleeves and Red Rover.
You can tell that I'm a historical reenactor. That's how you can tell.
Mhm.
Um, but or if it's like, I guess the modern day version would be like, oh, I know how to play Riptide by Vance Joy, right? And I can play that on the mandolin at the party and make everyone cry, right? So he's sort
It's
of,
so funny. It's so funny to
yeah.
listen to Hector be like, "Quick, what's a modern song?"
Riptide
um
by Vance Joy.
Riptide by Vance Joy.
Yeah,
Trust me, as somebody who has actually experienced that played on a mandolin while a bunch of people are dressed in medieval clothes in the middle of the night, it will make you cry if it's
I'm
played
sure it
that way.
would. Yeah.
And that is kind of Damien Nightingale's style. He plays what's popular. He's not an artist, but
Mhm.
we are living in a you're living in a world that is only like just now experiencing industrialization. So that kind of like reliable live music is really valuable, you
Oh, yeah,
know?
like that's a very specific skill set, right? Like the
Yeah.
person that can like read the room and play the right music for the vibes and like the stuff they know like
Hmm.
all the white
Yeah.
people will get super woke and lit to. And
Yeah.
that's definitely like I mean like I don't think that my character could do that. I think she'd get up and like do something really weird and like
Right.
beautiful and
Right.
wonderful, but like the bar would be like, "Cool, can you play any Michael Jackson or what?" Like
Right. Exactly. So,
yeah.
um, that is what his bardic vibe is. And right now
Okay.
he's doing the morning number, and morning numbers need to be sunny and soft. Sunny for the people that want to wake up and soft for the people that are hungover. So, um,
He knows what he's about.
yeah.
Okay, I can respect that. I'm just checking. I was like, do I hate this guy because he's a hack? Do I like this guy? Is it like
No,
game recognized game?
absolutely.
Like I don't like she likes most
Yeah, and keep
people.
in mind, these two particular NPCs that I've handed to you guys, Maya and Damien, are friends with all of you. And
Mhm.
you are more than welcome just to make up right here while we're sitting the relationships you have with them, or walk up to them or have a conversation, or look at your general moves. There's all
Well,
kinds of fun things you can do.
the first thing Yabe is going to do after waking up is pinch his cheek and then shove a fruit in his mouth to prove that he's awake.
And you shove the fruit, and it is like a mango, just a really delicious, fresh, ripe mango. And you just manage to realize what it is so that you don't like slam your teeth on the pit and are able to just gently like pull it away. And it's one of those mangoes that's like
Yeah,
so ripe, it just falls apart in your teeth.
Oh yeah, he definitely underestimates the size of it and has to sit there chipmunking this thing in his mouth for a second before spitting out the pit.
Yeah.
I feel like Celine would just kind of be watching Yabe like a worried mother, almost ready to just, like, tell him off for putting the whole thing in his mouth, and just kind of giving him a little bit of the stink eye, like.
His table manners are absolute shit.
Celine probably knows, but
Yeah.
she still tries to teach him. So
He
Celine
sees
just
Celine
kind of stares
watching
at him.
and with wide eyes very gently spits out the pit in his cupped hands and then sets it on the table like on a little folded napkin.
Celine
I
squints, but she sort of approves, like you kind of saved it at the end, but I'm watching you.
I think Ophelia is not paying attention to any of this because she's still got her head on the table, trying to like see if the table is still a tree, but also is like tapping on the table along with the beat and like humming like the harmonies to it. Like she's just it's like ADHD person with headphones on, just like uh
Yeah.
and just like straight vibing and like probably laughing and like smiling when like or like giving like a broad smile when like a note hits really good or like the harmonies match together or something. She's just kind of like lost in the sauce.
Oh,
So I'm gonna
does
make.
the
Oh, go ahead.
sorry, does the
Yeah.
guanaba have seeds?
Uh,
Or is
yes,
it just a big
yes.
fat pit?
No, 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 no,
Okay.
no. It has seeds. So when you open it up, it's white flesh, and
Yeah.
it's a bunch of. It's almost like watermelon, like the way that it
Ooh.
looks.
Okay.
Um,
Yabe starts picking them out of what he spit out and is going to gently shove them in conscious direction to offer them to Lumpy.
Oh,
uh,
Uh, Conch is like, Lumpy's asleep right now. Let's not. And of course, having said that, Lumpy like perks his head out. Like, no, I'm not
Mhm.
asleep. What the fuck is wrong with you? And great
sweet.
is very grateful to the yeah.
Uh, the I am going to offer someone comfort and amenities at a price. And coming up to the table will be a young, perky, she, her, uh, barmaid in just like a very simple dress with a brown stay. It's a cream colored dress, but she's got like a brightly colored sash, around a simple uh, dark blue skirt. She just sort of makes her way up with a tray, and it has like a bunch of tumblers on it of what look like juice. She comes up and she's like, "Hello, we are collecting donations this morning. We're doing a mimosa fundraiser for the local youth center for all of the various young people who don't have a place to stay in between
oh.
working on the various ships here, orphans, people displaced because of the war effort. But charity can be hard to come by. But you know what I thought? Booze. So would
Yes.
would anyone like for a copper pence to purchase some? Oh, yay! Oh goodness, thank you so much.
I love a mimosa.
All right, so you take one,
Hmm.
and don't worry about money. You guys have enough money. She's just
Okay.
That's not the
Do you
point of the story, is it
how
money?
how much extra is it for a curly straw?
For a curly straw?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what to tell you. We're not a very big city, and that's more of like a bespoke glass shop kind of thing. That's why we
Oh,
had to do, the tumblers are like, when you're done, leave it on the table. Like,
do you have
don't
any?
make
Do you have
it.
any, like? Do you have like paper ones?
Paper? Oh, none that look nice.
I could work on it.
It's not creative.
Yeah.
Since I can always perform magic to address some small trouble, can I make her the little curly straw?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I
So,
think I
So
think you see her like take the take
she
the paper one and like try to
yeah,
like fold it and it doesn't really work. And
yeah,
yeah.
and Selena's just gonna like
Describe how you
it's
do that.
So Selena's just gonna take the paper straw from Ophelia, not really saying much, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, I got it," and she's gonna like put her hands underneath the table, right? Just a little flash of light from there, like little sparks, and when it's out, it's just like a curly paper straw.
This is beautiful.
Is there an
Thank you.
orphanage nearby?
Wow. Huh?
Is there an orphanage nearby
Oh, I
that you're
forgot this is
raising
because
money for?
I forgot this
Yes,
is about
the
orphans.
youth, yeah, the youth center, the dancing shell down the block. You're more than welcome to go and check it out if you like.
Yeah,
What kind of
maybe.
work needs to
Seriously.
be done here for them?
Hmm?
What kind of work needs to be done? Where's this money going?
Oh, mostly to
It's not.
pay
It's
the.
not a litmus test. I buy a drink. It's not a litmus
Oh
test.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
What?
litmus
yeah,
test.
But
Yeah.
are you
She's like,
keeping a lot of it
oh,
off the top, or is it all going to the center, or are you just
Yeah.
paying
so
your
Are you
executives?
you
she's like,
registered three four zero one
well,
three?
well, I'm borrowing the tumblers, and to tell you the truth, I made these at home. The
Oh,
bar's just letting me sell uh these, glasses here, and then I give the bar a little bit, like, and then the rest of it goes to charity. This is actually my own alcohol
oh,
and
Okay.
juice.
I'm gonna give her another
So
copper.
Oh, okay.
Just for like,
Above table, this is something that actually happened at the Last Call karaoke bar that this tavern is based on in real life. A
oh,
young woman used to make Jello shots. She would pick her favorite charity. She would ask permission from the bar to sell Jello shots. She would sell them $5 a piece, and one of those $5 would go to the bar, and then the rest she would donate.
that's wonderful.
So that is essentially like you guys ask her some more questions. She'll tell you the address for the Dancing Shell, which is the name of the orphanage slash youth hostel. She'll be like, I don't like the word orphanage. It evokes a lot of bad feelings from the war. A lot of these kids are self-determined, but they just need homes. Um, but eventually if you kind of press her like you guys have been, she'll just be like, yeah, it's pretty much an orphanage, but it's not bad, like we're just trying to make the place better. And this is, and she'll eventually say, she'll open up, she'll say, my name is Kim, and I work here, I wait tables here 3 days a week, but both of my parents passed during the war,
Oh,
so I lived
how
there.
how
So
old is
I'm
she?
just, she looks to be maybe about like 19,
Mm-hmm.
19 or 20. So like she's an adult, but she's a young adult.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm sorry for this.
it was a long time ago, and to tell you the truth, the dancing shells become more of my family now. But it's a big port city, and trust me, it's the only reason why it's as nice as it is, because there's always, you know, gold, silver, uh, gems, stones, silks, all kinds of stuff coming into this town. And, the Antique Shell is just a place that I want to make sure is looked after. But some people are shady and want a little bit of alcohol. So I come in here and I wear this little outfit. And it's at that point you realize that maybe it's a little more fitted than, like, it's a little bit, it's like neighborhood brunch kind of fun, sexy, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to like, you know, like it's she's here to like flirt a little bit and raise money. And that's kind of,
Ophelia likes her vibes.
yeah,
That's like use. You know what? As long as no one's making you wear that outfit, then like use your feminine wiles.
yeah.
You know?
Uh
I don't want to trespass on your family home. But is there a way that I could help directly?
oh, well, absolutely. Look, let me see if I can sell the rest of these. and then I'll meet up with you after, and I'll take
I
you guys over there to meet the.
I do I don't think I have your feminine wiles, but if I can help sell as well, I would be happy to.
Oh,
This is an admirable cause.
oh, okay. So, you get up and help her.
Yabe wants to, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So,
Even if he's just like a little bus boy carrying this tray for
yeah.
her.
No.
We'll get
Absolutely.
you a little pair of hot pants.
He's just
Celine.
following behind her with this tray like a puppy.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
before he leaves, kind of goes like like a mother is trying to give him the pep talk of like
Uh.
don't forget to smile and all that sorts of shit,
Yeah.
you know.
So.
Yes,
So
Celine. Thank you, Celine.
Kim.
Yes,
Yes.
Miss Celine. Thank you, Miss Celine.
Yes. Who else? Who else? Does anyone else go to help, or do you guys just sort of chill, relax, and enjoy your drinks?
I think Ophelia is going to take like a rainbow colored ribbon off of like one of her many things, like out of her hair or something, and like wrap it around Yebe's head and like tie it in a big bow, just to like make you part of it, you know. And then I want to approach Damien.
Okay. What about you, Conk?
I will. I will bust my own table and my friends' table, like meals and drinks
Yeah.
when they're done, and not know where to take them because I do this at every place. You can't take me anywhere. I do not know whether they're supposed to or I'm supposed to, and I just want to
Right.
be helpful.
Okay.
So I probably make things worse for the staff because they're like, where did all our glasses go? But I've sort of like
And you're standing in a
taken them
corner
towards
with
the
like a million
kitchen.
glasses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I
Uh.
set them on a counter, which it probably shouldn't go at, but it seems like it might. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Celine, what are you doing?
I think Celine might just take some of the drinks as well in order to help, and because she can do like the little like I don't know like little sparks and all of that sorts of stuff, to make a little bit more impressive. She's gonna raise some money.
Okay. So, Yabe, Celine, and I think to a certain extent, in their own neurotic way, Conk, you all gain a token for inconveniencing yourself to help someone else.
Hey.
Because you absolutely could have just sat and enjoyed your drinks, and she would have been fine with that. But the rest of you are going above and beyond. Um.
Um,
So how that pans out?
Yabe
Oh
would
yes.
very
Go
much
ahead.
like Yabe just would very much like to he'd like to help out orphans from the war.
yeah.
Yeah. So this.
Before I run over to Damien, I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna start moving in that direction, like, and like she's got like the I just had an idea kind of like excitement on her face. She's gonna
Yeah.
run back to Kim and be like, hey, do you want to be my friend?
Oh, I mean, that sounds like fun.
It is. I promise.
You get. Uh, she gets a token if they
She gets
say
a token. Yeah.
yes. She's like, that sounds like it would be really fun.
Great.
Hmm. Right.
Well, I think we
Uh,
got work to do, but we'll circle back.
yeah.
Um,
No, of course.
yeah, and then she's gonna scurry off to
Are you
Damien.
going to go talk to Damien by chance?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna scurry off to Damien after that. Be like, cool, we're friends. Bye. I love you. And then scurry off to Damien.
Oh. She turns and she looks at Yabe and Conch and Celine, uh, and is kind of like, well, that's going to be an interesting conversation. And then she continues on. At a certain point, um, the Kim will wave Conch over right before Conch is about to drop the glasses on the counter, and she'll wave him over and point to her tray that's empty. As Yabe and Celine kind of following her around, you guys, between Celine doing like actual cleanup and Yabe like kind of accompanying her around. I think at some point maybe they convinced Yabe to like put aside his armor and like walk around in
Yabe
just his tunic. Like,
Yabe doesn't wear armor.
oh, Yabe doesn't wear armor.
Nope.
Oh, okay, all right. At one point, uh, she'll try to get Yabe to relax and maybe like take the ribbon off, smile a bit, and just be like, "You should, Yabe. I think that you should have some of these. We're trying to help." Um,
Like, get drunk, it'll help.
yeah.
Yabe walks up to a person and says, "You should have these."
Celine just pops up
Uh,
behind
and,
him and is like,
And to another tree, goes to another table and just hands one and says, "You should drink this."
They're
yeah.
like, oh, complimentary beverages, great.
And then and it's funny because every time that he does that, she just sort of like whoop, like this is like her spending a token.
Mhm.
Just that she got from the bard. Uh just it's just sort of like, oh, it's $5, for that.
Shakes the
Or
little pin.
yes, it's a good it's for a good cause. And she just sort of like you are sort of cutting through the crowd
You
while
should
and
pay
she's
her.
yeah, and she's like closing the sale every time. Uh and she really appreciates it. Makes her work a little faster.
I can
Uh
just tell that Celine is like overly anxious by all of this just because of Yabe going to be like, drink this. And they're like, no, 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 that's not how you approach people. Please.
He's kind.
uh yes. Just you head up to Damien. We'll pivot to there as you all successfully get all the drinks. Uh, Conk, you are waved over and directed to where to put the glasses. Um, and you can all kind of see Damien and your Ophelia engaged in conversation. Uh, as soon as he locks eyes with you while he's playing music, he'll go all right, taking 15, folks. And then a bunch of the morning crowd like applauds. Go out, refill your coffees. Well, it looks like we're all out of morning mimosas for the fundraiser for the youth hostel. But I'll be right back with more morning melodies. And then he
Catch me on the fives and tens.
and he just hops off the stage and puts his mandolin on his back and is like, well, do my eyes deceive me? Or is
Hello.
oh, poor Ophelia.
Oh, go
How
ahead.
are you? Yeah, we get just huge hugs. And he's like,
Yes.
is all the rest of the gang here?
Oh yes, they're here. We're all helping and doing things and drinking mimosas. As is our thing. I would like uh what is the phrase for when like under the table or off the camera or whatever when I'm talking as Katie? What is the phrase
Above
we use?
table. Above
Above
table.
table. I have in my head that Damien and I met one time when I went
Yeah.
into like a piano bar or something, and
Yeah.
it was like Marie's Crisis in New York, where it's just like a bunch of like wonderful theater gays that just like sing musical theater songs. You can like sign up to sing a solo yourself, and like she
Yes,
just spent
exactly.
her night there, and that's how they became friends. And he was like
Yeah.
the pianist or the
And he
like
just and
lutist.
he yeah, and he just came around,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's how he joined the group. And he's like,
yeah.
it's not quite Maria's in the capital where we
It's true,
met.
but
But
nothing ever is.
I love this gig. I love it. I love it. I'm so glad that you guys accepted Maya's invitation. Like I had a feeling one of these years or one of these months the road was going to bring you here.
Well, it would be really rude to not accept an invitation.
Yeah.
Good.
How are things going with you know, Lumpy's friend?
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, last time he was here, he was lugging around a broken violin.
Oh,
When
I
we
fixed
were
it.
all when we were you fixed it.
I fixed it. I fixed it.
Okay,
Yeah.
are you being
I didn't
serious,
even
or is that
I
a
didn't know
euphemism?
he didn't even tell me he was broken. I only found out because you noticed.
What? What? So it's fixed.
So it's fixed. Yeah, we played last night and he is absolutely fine.
Are we
Oh,
talking about
he's out of
music?
practice. Yeah. He's a little out of practice, but I think he's, he likes to like his songs are a little bit like they need a little like upbeat to them a little bit, I think. He's a little
I
like
mean,
likes to
I mean,
play the
maybe they need some inspiration.
Yeah, I was actually coming over here because okay, so you know that Kim is going around doing the drink thing, although I guess we drank them all. But what if we did like a little concert with some traveling guests to raise money?
I think that would be really great.
Yeah, and it'll be
Yeah.
really fun because he's gonna hate it, and I'm gonna think it's very fun. And we're not gonna tell him, we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna be like, and then come on up here. We've prepared something for you. He's gonna lead. It's gonna be great.
I will talk to Maya and see if we
Mm,
can do a little something for the orphans moon feast is tonight.
yeah.
So we could see about putting together a little jam, extend the hat.
Oh my god, I meant like would do it here with these people, but yes, let's do it in front of a lot more people. He'll hate that even more. That sounds
Well,
fantastic.
no. This is
Oh,
just the morning. This place
okay,
is gonna
great.
be packed. You gotta understand, it's the orphans moon court feast, which means
So,
everyone with no family or everyone is welcome.
mhm.
This place is gonna be packed to the brim. It's not gonna be dead until the after sunset, or at least after the feast,
Oh, I'm so
because
excited.
everyone's gonna want to drink, everyone's gonna want to eat,
Mhm.
and
You
I
know,
mean,
you know
and
how
you
much I love just wandering with these people, but I have missed a good party.
look. Normally, I would say that we would just perform at the bonfire,
Mhm.
but this inn has killer acoustics. It
Oh, I
doesn't
noticed.
it doesn't matter. Like we didn't it's just from
I think it
it's
has
gonna
something
be
to do with the
great.
tables, like the wood that they use. Because I
No,
had
no,
my
no, no,
head on the
no. And
table and it was like,
he points up, and maybe this is something like maybe your character like didn't notice, but like as the camera kind of pans back, it's at that point that you realize that this place has flight space.
oh, cool.
It's like the last call is a complex. It's
Mhm.
an inn and a tavern and a theater space.
Oh my god, I'm gonna
So
go so over the top with this.
the first it's 3 stories tall, but
Mhm,
the opening hall where the bar is and where all the tables are and where the stage is and the benches for the stage are and the fireplace
mhm,
is open airspace, or what we would call in theater flight space,
mhm.
because you could put fly rigging up there. So you could technically put fly rigging in this space and do like a big theater rig setup.
Mhm.
Um, but that is part of the reason why the acoustics are so good. Is
Oh
like
my
it's got
gosh.
this big, it's bouncing the sound off of
Cool.
of
I'm gonna
all
I'm
across
gonna
the
I'm
board.
gonna go absolutely too far with this now, just so you know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. No, I will let Maya know that you want
Yeah.
to put something on.
Yeah, and you'll sing with me too, right?
Absolutely. Are you
Okay,
kidding
good.
me? I can't miss out on
Good.
this. This is
Yes.
gonna be great. We're
Okay.
gonna
I
raise up
also
so much money for the youth hostel.
absolutely. I also have a secret goal, and maybe you could help me.
Okay.
I want to make Yabe dance. He
Uh,
refuses to dance with me, and I don't know why. And maybe he just hates me, but I don't think that's it because I'm very lovable. So I
no.
think there's something, I don't know, maybe the right person hasn't asked them. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe they need dancing shoes. Maybe they need to wear a mask so no one knows who they are while they're dancing. Maybe I don't know. Like,
I mean, most of us are gonna be wearing masks tonight.
oh yeah.
You've got
Oh, we
your
get to make masks. Oh my goodness.
well, you're on limited time. I've got to get back onto the show. Go see if you
I
can
have
get some
crafting to
material.
do.
Maya has a bunch of materials for you behind the bar if you need some. Okay.
I will need all of it. Thank
All
you.
right. He gets up on the stage and he's like, "Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just reuniting with an old friend and
Oh,
plotting."
hey, wait. Does that? I actually never asked you. Are you my friend?
Of course we're friends.
I just realized I never really asked. I just like to make sure. Anyway, cool.
The crowd laughs.
And
And he's
also be
like,
friends.
"Hi, we're friends." And then they all just sort of,
Yay! I'll go over and drink with them.
yeah, they all sort of just like laugh. A couple of people buy you drinks, and you just have it like a generally good morning in the opening set. I want to say, kind of in the background, you get brought on stage at some point to sing a
Oh yeah.
song, and you kind of become part of the morning show, and then it all sort of all ties up with the four of you reuniting with both Kim and Damien, uh, getting ready to head off and check out the dancing show, the local youth hostel. Before we go, just a quick check in. Is there anything else you all want to do uh, before taking the trip to check out the youth hostel?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yabe is very eager to go,
Yeah.
but I think he does. He does go and bow to Mayejun, madam. Thank you for having us.
Of course. I will see you later tonight.
Yes, it's good to see you again.
It's always good to see you. There are
Oh, you'll see us.
important matters for us to discuss, but take your time. We have all night. And
I
Maya
also
taps the
sorry.
bar and smiles. Yes, what does Conch do?
Oh, I say thank you. And is this a tipping economy?
Uh
Why not?
tipping economy. Actually no. The Republic, the Golden Republic, which is the current uh government that the port is like signed, like pays taxes to, like uh doesn't do tips at all. It's considered a relic of the aristocracy of the Hundred Kings War and
Okay.
a form of bribery.
Nice.
Got it.
Instead, the Golden Republic has what's called like a server's wage, or a service wage, which is like a gold standard essentially. Like you have to pay people that cook for you and like cook for the community and look out for the community like more than the minimum standard of other like laborers.
Former
It's
server
something,
Katie, like
yeah, it's like it's something that they're still arguing about, like amongst the various elected representatives. It's one of those big kind of political things happening in the background. But
Okay.
no. However, that doesn't mean that an occasional innkeep doesn't appreciate a few extra coppers every now and then on the working
Okay.
class
Instead
level.
of tipping, if I observed anyone sort of counting their coin before placing an order or anything like that, I set a coin down as I leave and just say, "Next one's on me." And
oh,
Well,
I as I walk out.
thank you so much, young man. You have a great day.
You as well.
young.
Get another token. You get another.
Oh,
Alex, did you hear me? Uh,
because I took that insult like a man. Yeah.
Yeah, you get a token.
no, because you once again, like this is why I built this game using Wanderhome system for a reason. These are the kind of
Mhm.
things that I want people to do, and that person just sort of like looks at you with like some genuine warmth. Like you really like made his day better. And he says thank you, and then you head off. Uh um I think like when you
I
get
wonder
to
if
the
being kind
door,
in real life is like that. It's
yeah.
rewarding. Maybe.
Be wild, wouldn't it?
Be wild. You actually get to the
We,
door, and Yabe, you
yeah.
notice this. You're very like kind of laser focused, but you notice as the man like that whose drink you paid for came back up, and takes you by the hand, uh,
Ooh.
Conch, and says, "Oh, I just noticed your friend. Thank you so much, Night Lantern, for all of your service and for looking after people and making sure that there's always a light in the dark."
and I turn to Lumpy. I go, "Did you get all that?" And Lumpy sort of pokes
Mm.
his head out and
Nod
he doesn't
sagely.
nib. He nips at me, but like he gives a little peck on the hand of this person, which seems somehow gentle, and I'm like, really? All right. But
Oh,
yeah,
you're so modest. Have a beautiful day. And then
and you as well.
he heads back into the bar, and you guys are all there, like at least within earshot.
Yeah, I feel like I don't think that Ophelia has ever considered that he does something with his glowy bird or has a job of any kind. Like, I don't think she's like Night Lantern. What is that? Like, I don't think she considered that was like. I thought it was just like a vibe. So she's
Yeah,
definitely like
he does
thinking
give
about
off
that.
unemployed vibes. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
But technically, your job was like wandering with us. Like that's my job, you know. Like
No.
yeah.
I didn't realize you had like a calling. Yeah. So I think she's gonna like chew
Yeah.
on that for a bit and try to be like, there's a polite way to ask about that, I bet. And I'm too drunk to know what it is right now. So I'm gonna let that one lie just for a hot minute.
It's a nice morning drunk.
Yeah.
uh
Cheers.
so that happens, and then for brevity's sake, we kind of smash cut to um the center. And you find yourselves surrounded by a refurbished inn. It looks like somebody bought an inn and just cleaned it up, and a bunch of teenagers live in it. And like, there's no child here younger than 12, hence why they're avoiding the word orphanage. But this kind of gives you the like, and you talk to the people. Yabe, who would you like to speak to? Kim is going to introduce you to the head counselor,
The kids who live there.
the kids who live there. So okay, um she introduces you to
I
Pedro.
it could yeah,
Pedro
it
is
could be
about
as
14.
simple.
Yeah, Pedro's like 14 years old and is messing with like, wood carving. Pedro is an apprentice at the shipyard, local shipyard, and stays here while he's studying. Hey,
Hello. He like crouches down like on his knees because that's the only way he can reach height.
that's a cool sword.
It's a fishing pole. That's a beautiful carving.
Yeah, I'm working on. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way to make a captain's wheel that I can like break apart. Most captain's wheels are like one or two pieces, but I don't know if you can break things apart, it makes them easier to transport.
That's a really fascinating idea. How long have you been working on it?
About a year. My master um, has been encouraging me actually, like a lot. Like he thinks it's a really great idea, and which is strange because old people usually don't like new ideas, but this old man seems to be really into it. So he's gotten some pushback, weirdly, from people that are younger than him. It's so bizarre. Anyway, I've been able to work on it. I could do it in toys. Strangely enough, my master's been sending me to hang out with a toy maker. At first, I thought it was like
Hmm.
a punishment, but then I figured out that like toy makers know how to like break apart wood into pieces and puzzles and stuff.
They're I assume they would be very good at being efficient with their materials.
Yeah,
I'm sorry that not all of your companions have been understanding, though. It's a good thing that your master's looking out for you.
yeah. Are you moving in? And it's at that point you
Excuse
realize
me?
it's at that point you realize that this boy is not that much younger than you.
I. No. I'm
Well,
passing through.
oh, Well, I mean, if you lost your parents too, you can stay here.
I
There's a lot of us. The
They have
war was
other.
hard, but this is a place where we can start over.
Well, they have other family now.
are you
Oh,
there?
Oh, sorry.
Hello.
I thought we were
yeah,
all there.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Is this your family? I didn't mean to. I just saw someone else close to my age here asking questions, so I just assumed you were coming to stay. Um,
I do.
I feel like
Is
Celine the whole time is probably not even like fucking paying attention. She's way too anxious, so she pulled on her little cloak and she's walking around looking like a little dragon. So she probably kind of looks like sort of eerie, right? Because of the cloak and everything. Like her face is
Yes.
covered up, and whenever she gets anxious, there's like smoke puffing out, like she just looks as if she's about to burn the whole place down or kill someone, right? And she's just walking around all anxious, the
No.
tail dragging
yeah,
on the floor, right, of the little cloak, right?
Yeah, they probably also seems to have just noticed that, the people that he's traveling with are also here. And
yeah,
stammers, and like you see his fingers like drumming at the pommel, and he very quickly goes, Can can can, can you teach me how to carve that?
yeah.
Just
Absolutely,
switching
absolutely.
the subject.
Yeah, no, of course. And they pull out a plain block and some fresh tools, and they for the next hour or so, there's he gives you like a full uh 101, like how to carve tools, and even lets you keep the wood. And
We just stand there awkwardly in the background. It's like, oh, a full hour of
dur-
well,
dur-
woodworking.
during this
what would you like to do during this hour, everyone else,
is
while Yabe is bonding with Pedro?
is any of the kids looking at my fiddle, like eyeing it, like, ooh, that
Yes.
looks
Yeah.
okay.
uh
I pick the person who looks as wide eyed or looks music inclined or something like that. I just
yeah.
walk over to one. Maybe it's a group, and I show them the fiddle, and I let them play it. And
Yeah, they all get really excited. They're able to play it, tune it. It almost feels like the fiddle almost like comes alive in the hands of these children.
mhm,
Um, there's a warmth to it that is very similar to the warmth of the bird. Now that you have magic, you feel a sensitivity to it you didn't before. And it's not, that you could probably focus this music to open your eyes to the dark paths.
hmm.
I
Uh,
let
uh, and that's something that
I let
that
the kid.
kind of opens up
Yeah.
an awareness as you're sort of spending time with these children, and
Hmm.
you hear the innocence of their awkward, and then you playing and then them playing back that interaction makes you realize, oh, uh, music and is really old magic. Like maybe you had heard um,
Hmm.
Ophelia stammer about that. Maybe you have a little flashback to being
Mm.
in the
Hmm.
fire with Ophelia. Ophelia, what was it you were going to bring up? Let's pull it into this scene, but this flashback scene by the fire.
Uh, so what was I gonna bring up just now?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah, I can change it. I think that seeing him playing with the kids like reminds me of like when he first found the fiddle that night of the last night of the bonfire, and and uh he started sort of like testing it out and playing it, and like turns out he can read music, I would imagine, if you could play the fiddle.
yeah,
And so we were doing some things, and I was listening to it, and then I just sort of looked at him. I was like, hey, Conch, will you play with me? And I like hand him some sheet
So,
music.
so
What?
this is the previous night. This isn't in front of the kids.
Yeah, we're doing
Or
a flashback.
yeah,
We're doing
yeah. Oh
flashback.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I quietly nod, and we
yeah.
we start playing together.
So
Yeah.
I hand you like some sheet music, And she like goes for an instrument, but then changes her mind and starts to sing. And if you'll indulge me, I'll sing you a little teeny song.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't write it. I stole the lyrics from a poem, but lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
And she sings this like old like hymn from the rebellion,
Mhm.
from the resistance, and it's at this point that you realize that there was a magic there that you didn't. You were so consumed with the emotion of having your fiddle back that you didn't notice. And it's in this quiet moment of just sort of sharing a love of music with these children that you realize that this is a different way for you to access your own magic.
She's just kind of
Um,
looking at you, interacting with these kids, and being like, that's nice.
I I want to spend a token to give something that has the potential to change someone fundamentally, and I'm giving
Ooh.
my fiddle to the kids.
What? I just fixed it.
They all get super, super excited. They all start like playing it absolutely enthusiastically. Um Kim is incredibly grateful. And Celine, what are you doing during this hour that culminates with such a lovely gift being given to the children?
Aline is hiding in a corner at this point. She is scared when it comes to kids because, as motherly as is, all of those years when, even though a lot of people would come and seek help and everything, being called like, eerie and all of that sorts of stuff made her feel like, oh, if a kid approaches me, I'm just gonna scare them off, so I'm not gonna so she's just there with the little cloak. I think the only moment that she will come out of her little hidey hole, whatever she is, well, would be at some point to see what Yabe is doing. So she would go over to the table, obviously still with the full thing, like just looking dark and ominous, sort of not being able to really loom over the table. She's too short for that, but um
Uh
but she would totally just kind of stare, right? So it would feel sort of like a stare of, oh, I'm gonna kill this person sort of
it's
thing, so it would
it's
make someone uncomfortable.
it's at this point uh that there is a ripple on the ground as a hand comes out of the ground, and it's slightly elongated, and it goes over and it taps on Celine's knee, and you hear a voice in your mind that says, "Sister."
Huh? Okay, Selena's.
Why don't you come down to my den for an appropriate audience? And then you feel like a force like grab your wrist, and you get
Yeah.
pulled into water. Like the ground turns into water for you, and you go through water. Um, is there anything you want to do to respond as you feel yourself like in the ocean, suspended for a moment? You're in seconds. You are a
Yeah.
witch, and I don't want
Yeah.
to take any agency away from you, but I will say
Um
this: another witch is pulling you into her like private sanctum.
Do we see the floor
Right.
turn to water?
I
No,
think that
Yeah,
no, it's
everyone's
happening
doing their
under.
own thing.
If she went under the table and
Yeah.
is hiding.
Oh,
So if this
well,
had
you
been
never
like
split the
out,
party.
if this had been out in the open, yes, you would have seen the water. What you
Yeah.
will
no,
see is the
she
table
did
shake,
go
and
she
you'll
did
smell
get
ocean
out of
water.
the she did go out from like wherever she was hiding before to like look at Pedro and Yabe looking. So she was sort of out in the open the
Oh
moment
yeah,
that she
yeah,
was
yeah.
pulled down.
Oh,
So
okay. You
yeah.
see, you'll see the ground ripple, like the ground turns into water, but the color doesn't change. Almost like something is projected the floor onto water, if that makes
And it's
sense.
like just in a, like a spot underneath Celine.
Yes,
Okay.
and like a hand comes out and wraps around her ankle and pulls her out. And the thing that's actually kind of scary is at first
This whole thing.
it's just like a little ripple, right?
Yeah.
And it grabs her, and then as it pulls her down, the water like splashes up and ripples outward.
Is this like
Uh
is this normal for her? Because she's a witch, so like maybe weird things happen. Is
Weird
this
things
surprising?
happen all the time,
Yeah.
but on
Sometimes
this
little
scale
things
is a
happen.
Yeah.
little ridiculous.
Okay.
That's why I'm
Do
freezing
do
things
they
to
look?
give her a chance to do
Mhm.
Yeah.
something. Because
Also
Okay,
why I'm
so
vamping a little bit to give her a chance to think.
I feel like Celine at first would kind of try to, since she's a witch, sort of ground herself so she doesn't get pulled down, but she will probably fail to do so because she was taken off guard, right?
right, right. No, you can
So
always fail on purpose in this system.
yeah,
If you
okay.
think that failing is more interesting, let's go
It
with
is
that.
more interesting, that's it.
Yeah,
All
But
right.
like
100%. Yeah.
uh
Yeah, so you get
so
grabbed by the
she will
ankle.
try to like ground herself with magic only for the magic to kind of be broken and with like a sort of like a squeak because she can't really like she's just
Pulled underwater. Uh,
yeah.
and then time goes forward as you get pulley pulled underwater, and the water kind of bows out and boop, 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 flattens back into like floor.
They looked like they were in distress, right?
Uh, yeah, and they looked surprised. They were like, "Whoa!" Uh, so you're in this chamber. It's a nice, cozy little area. There's shelves with books, jars with herbs, a little cozy, like like a stone oven, fireplace, very practical. Tables, a comfy love seat bed with hand knitted like quilts that are depicting like fish and mermaids and sea life. There's like netting kind of set up like on the ceilings with all kinds of seashells and dried seaweed, and there's like barrels. Everything here it looks like is nautical themed
Don't
and
give her your voice.
ship themed. Uh and but also like weirdly like family oriented. I'm not really sure how to explain it. This is like somebody's like this is someone's like caretaker in a port city. This is where you go in between like sailing on the high seas. There's a lot of fruit. There's like a bowl with that's just full of oranges, different species, sizes, and shapes of orange from all over the world. But it's nothing but like citrus fruits from everywhere in this big glass bowl on a side table. And sitting in a really comfy, like retrofit captain's chair next to the oven, in the midst of she's got like a big pot, like a steel pot with a giant spoon, and it's got arroz con gandules cooking on it, and it's just on the fire. And arroz con gandules is yellow rice
Beans.
flavored with saffron and small black beans. And you
Mm.
just get hit in the face with the smell. It's so good. And then she has some plantains cut up, sizzling on the fire. She's taken some she's hammered some kind of foil, like thin foil, and she's literally like cooking the plantains like on oil foil, like
Oil
over
foil.
the open rocks. And she's like, Celine. And you see this woman, she's got to be maybe like 5 foot even, uh, uh, brown skin, deep brown skin, like somebody who's been in the sun like all the time. She's got crow's feet that she's proud of. She looks to be in maybe her late 50s and doesn't care if you know it. She's wearing a bright blue like my hair, head wrap like a silk bonnet. She's got a um really simple caftan, like just a moo, right? Just a bolt of fabric and the boldest, brightest colors. She has seashell and coral necklaces that she's wearing that are over the caftan, and the caftan is like blue and purple and green, and it's just like every cool color just kind of splashed and wavy, so it looks like she's essentially wearing an ocean wave and fabric. And then she's got a nice little, blue leather cincher, to show off the waist, show off a little curvature, a little bit of an indulgence. And she uh turns around. She's got like seashell earrings, gold powdered gold makeup that contrasts against her dark skin, and she turns, she looks at you, long flowing skirt, like a bomba skirt. That is shockingly white. Um, and she looks at you and she's like, Celine, it's Calypso, your sister of the sea.
Celine is just kind of probably she ungracefully fell on her ass the moment that she was like pulled down and stuff.
She gets up and puts her hands out and lifts you up. You haven't seen Calypso in how long has it been since you've seen Calypso, the Witch of the
Um,
Sea?
I have no idea, but probably half a decade,
Half
maybe,
a
maybe
decade. Okay,
more.
maybe more.
But yeah,
Long enough to know that she didn't that she didn't own a youth hostel.
yes.
She's like, it's
So
been too long, but at least you're not like our other sisters who wait centuries before visiting anyone.
Selena just gonna start like dusting themselves off, like their little um they also have like a sort of accessories, but it fits more in the team with like the dragon and everything. They have like fire stones and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And they kind of dust themselves off, and I kind of like, as much as I appreciate the invite, I do have friends up there that are gonna think that you're gonna try and kill me, but it has been very, very long since we met.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare your friends. Come on, follow me. And she takes you over to like a staircase that's like in the
Yeah.
back of the room. And she leads you up. She literally opens the door. And so all of y'all notice this is right around the time that your wood carving lesson ends. You see the floor splashing. You're done giving the gift to the children. The door opens, and stepping out is Calypso, the Witch of the Sea. Uh, and is like, Hola! How are you all doing today? And she just
Celine
comes
kind of
in.
flinches a little bit because she forgot how loud Calypso can be, and she's like, "Eh."
Welcome to the dancing show. I am the head mistress of this youth hostel and organization. So, are you people here to do some community outreach? Some donations? I see you brought my sister, Celine, who hasn't picked a word yet.
Celine is just gonna like shrunk it a little bit of herself and be like, "Oh, uh,
You have
One
a
day,
sister?
well, that's what we all call ourselves.
I'm
It's a
just
little
gonna go
bit
and just like poke.
complicated.
I'm just gonna go poke the floor and just be like, "Is it solid?"
It's solid. It's like I'm sorry. I
Weird.
apologize. My sisters say that I can be a little bit theatrical.
Yeah, Celine,
Um,
Celine,
A
are
little
you
bit. Yes.
okay?
oh, I'm good. I'm used to it.
You got pulled through a
It
floor.
happened
Are
a
you
lot.
used to getting pulled through a floor?
with her, yes.
Oh, okay. It seems normal to you, so it's normal to me.
You are so
If any of the
delightful.
younger,
With that?
They're
if it,
not freaking out. The
Yeah.
the
Okay.
kids
the kids.
just seem used to this.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, great.
They seem very used to this. And she's like, "Oh, just one moment. Dia is here!" And then all of the teenagers are like, "Yes!" And they get up, and the younger ones come up and give their hugs. Um, and the older one, she comes up and says hi to and kisses their foreheads and their cheeks, and she greets every single child that is like in the room. And there's about 10 of them. So
Aw.
she takes about 5 minutes to say hello to all of them and then says, okay, vayan a los estudios, which translates to, okay, everybody get back to your studies. And then they all are like, okay. So they get up and they all like pick up like whatever they were drawing or whatever they were writing and they retreat back to their rooms. Like,
Thank. It was nice to meet you, Pedro.
it was nice to meet you too. You know,
I'm
Dia's
sorry.
really cool if you want to stay. I can teach you more.
Can't. I can't. But thank you for the offer. I'm sorry. Us, us adults were supposed to make. Us adults were supposed to make a better world for you, but we went and messed it all up. But there are still some who are making it better for you.
Ah, you were an aristocrat, weren't you? I don't mean
Something.
that as an insult, but like, there's so many of us that lose families, you can't really afford to push anyone away. I know what that pain's like, but you don't owe the world anything. You owe it your happiness and you owe it your continued existence. But that's about it. You got a gift. Just use it. Here, take my tools. I'll get some new ones. Saved up plenty of money for my apprenticeship.
I think they would do better in your hands. I'm not so good with holding things that are sharp gently.
He glances at the sword and he's like, and then he glances at the tools and he's like, oh, yeah, well,
Thank you very much, though.
yeah.
You're very wise and you're very talented. I think you're going to make this world into something truly beautiful. And between you and your master, not all adults are so bad.
uh, he nods and heads to his room, leaving you all in the room with the adults, which would be Damien, who's over in a corner, playing notes now that his captive audience is gone. Kim, who has changed into like a tunic and pants, like comfy like tie fishing pants and a big baggy like maroon tunic, just and a belt and some rope sandals. Like it looks like she's like, well, time to be comfortable. So,
Hmm. Can
um,
can
and
Ophelia
Calypso.
just can Ophelia just kind of be like, "Oh, I have to pee. I'll be right back," and then just like run out the door after Pedro and just like grab him by the cloak really quickly, and be like, "Hey,
Oh yeah.
can you give those to me? Not for me. I'm gonna make sure they get them. I think
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I feel like they're being a bit self-deprecating, so I'm gonna take them and I'm gonna
Here
like
you go.
I'll give it to them later.
Okay, all right, thanks.
I
I
thought
really
that was
appreciate
really
it.
nice of you. That was really nice of you. They just
Yeah.
need a
Well,
little,
if he's in the room, she's just gonna like give a short nod to Kim, saying, "Oh, that's very nice," and then go
Oh,
sit down with the rest of the adults.
oh, thank you. Uh, uh, so there's a little bit of flirtums put in. Uh,
Ophelia comes back just like shoving
That
something
is.
into her basket and like putting it behind her back.
He did.
Like,
He did
oh, what
not.
a
uh,
wonderful urination
He did
time.
not
uh,
intend it that way.
Yeah, and then Calypso is like, "So, you came to my youth hostel?" Kim is like, "Yeah, they were interested in helping, so I wanted to show them the place. I met Yabe next door." Oh, so Celine is my sister. I'm not familiar with the rest of you. I mean, I'm familiar, obviously. And she like, flicks a hand, and there's like an orb that like shows like everything that happens in the room that you were just in.
Scary.
And then she
Celine
flicks
just
her wrist
kind of
and walks
looks
Oh,
away.
at Calypso and is kind of like, you need to stop spying on people. You do this all the
This
time.
is my home. I get to know what happens in my home. It is
You,
wrong to spy on people in their homes.
well, you should put a sign up or something, just like so that people know they're on camera.
No one is going to believe me, even if I put a sign up. It'll just add to the cookie witch mystique. And I'm trying to run away from that. I have children to look after.
That's fair.
okay.
I just would have
Cookie
like
Witch.
brushed my
See?
hair.
This is
This is
this
what
is
Celine, this is wonderful. She is a delight. What is your name again? She like takes your hand.
Mine?
Oh boy.
Yes.
Oh, Ophelia. Nice to meet you.
Ophelia, you
Yeah.
light up the room. Damien,
Oh,
you could learn something from her.
oh.
she's a dancer.
Damien rolls his eyes.
She's going to be
Um,
performing tonight, right?
Oh, yeah. And Kim's like, yes. So they're talking about doing a concert. Yes,
whip,
we're
whip, whip,
doing
whip,
a
whip, whip. Yeah,
concert.
just me and Damien. Just me and Damien doing a concert. No one else involved.
Yes, it's going to be
Oh,
lovely. We're going to be doing
okay.
some fundraising.
Yep.
Wait.
Does any work need to be done while we're here? Anything that we can help with?
Well, I mean, apparently you've launched my music program.
I think most of that credit goes to Ophelia.
No, he gave away his lute that I literally just fixed, and I'm fine with that.
It
I'm fine
wasn't a
with it.
flute, it was a violin.
Oh, sorry, violin. I'm sorry.
Because I know everything that happens in my place.
Yeah.
And the children are
Yeah.
very, very, very happy.
Yes, make sure you tell them that's from Ophelia more than me
No, no,
because
no,
they
no.
fixed it.
well,
It's
I
for.
uh and
Why
she goes
doesn't anyone want
over.
to be okay with what they're doing? Why is everyone pawning it
Huh?
off on other people? Everyone's good at stuff. Let's just do that.
What's happening?
Oh,
What's happening?
Ophelia, that sounds fantastic. She says, as Ophelia is like having a moment and Calypso supporting her, she walks past Yabe, looks at Yabe, and you hear a voice in your mind say, I know that you have questions. Just give me a moment to repay this debt. And it's whispered, on the wind
Ooh.
as
Yabe looks behind him and
and you
just kind of
see,
spins in
and
a
you
circle for a
lock
second.
when you look behind, you lock eyes with her. Like she was like walking behind you to get to a cabinet, and you just heard her voice, and you turned around, and she's just making eye contact with you.
Like this.
Uh, yep, like that. Like
Yabe turns back around.
There it is. Yours is better. Yours is better.
and opens up the case, goes in, and you don't see anything. You just kind of see light coming out of the case. She reaches in and pulls out. Uh, Describe to me what an ideal dream instrument uh that Conk would want. Is it a fiddle? Is it a violin?
Oh, um, I, can I answer that in a way that undermines your question?
No.
Okay.
Yes, you can. Wanderhome is all about
Okay.
answering the
So
question,
No.
not
it's it's possible that we can get there, but
yeah.
Conch's intention in giving it away is that having fixed it and having played it again for the first time in maybe a decade,
Yeah.
it has fulfilled its purpose, and he's feel like he just did the thing that he's been dreading and yet anticipating for years. So that itch was scratched, that story was fulfilled. So he's not
New dread.
thinking
New
about
dread.
music
New
right now.
dread. New
So
dread.
from there, yeah, from there, it's almost like it's a new thing. So it'd probably be something that he has never played before. He's never, maybe even never heard before. It's just something entirely new, and something that maybe Ophelia has mentioned or has inferred as like, oh, this is really like this beautiful sound that I heard in this far off
It's a
planet. It
it's a
slightly intrigued
hurdy-gurdy.
me, but I shut that down right away in my head. So
It's
like
a hurdy-gurdy.
maybe it's a
I don't
hurdy-gurdy.
know. Hurdy-gurdy is.
Wild.
What is a?
Hold on. I know all
Oh, it's a
about
tuba.
strange.
It's a tuba. No.
Actually, a part of me wants to think
What's a?
that.
Do we do
uh,
encumbrance with this?
No, no.
No.
A part of me wants to see like if we want to do something like really unique, is do like maybe something Middle Eastern, like a sitar.
Oh, cool.
You know,
Okay.
or
What is it? What is the little pipey guy? I can't remember what it's called. Like a floon or something.
a floon. No, I really like but it's got to be something you can carry. That's the thing. Like not just
Mouth harp.
a mouth harp.
A
An ocarina.
canoon.
A
Ooh.
what?
All right.
Ocarina? Huh?
What a
Yeah, he has not played. He has not played Zelda, so this is
Yeah,
perfect.
I think yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, like not a
Because
string
you,
instrument this
Okay.
time.
because
it's
you can
completely
also
different.
use that to communicate with your bird.
Hurdy.
I
Um
mean,
she
it could be a
goes
seashell.
yeah, so she
A
goes
conch.
into it and pulls out
Mhm.
what looks like an ocarina that was like molded, shaped, carved, whatever, out of pure conch shell.
Wow.
That is a beautiful, polished white with what looks to be like a gold and silver leaf painted uh like the night lanterns don't have a sigil. They're not like the Raven Keepers, which are an organization. The night lanterns are they're not postal service like, but they do like guard. They do guard and lead people. They're more like hospitalers with pets. Uh, but they do. It is a beautiful painting of a of one of the birds. It looks like your lightweight.
I'm
Wow.
gonna lean over. I'm gonna lean
It's
over to
very.
Celine and just whisper, "I can't believe she just had that with her. That's so perfect for him."
Uh,
She didn't have that with her, Ophelia. That's not how it works.
she
I,
pulls it
I
out
told you
and
about
she shuts the door and she's like, "Thank you so much for starting my music program. This is
Aw.
for you."
Wow. Thank you, and it's very symbolic of me coming out of my shell.
Ah.
I
Yeah.
feel you are ready for the next step in your life and you need something new. Your
I
journey
hear
with
you. Thank you.
music, your next journey with music begins today.
I like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Your questions.
how can I help?
What kind of work needs to be done around here?
Oh, I already
Repairs.
answered that question as she points to the conch. How can you help?
That
Well,
cuts a little deep.
how can you help? She like looks over at Conch and she's just like, "You're very sweet, but Yabe has some heavy questions on his heart. You can go
Boy,
downstairs. You can go downstairs," as she points to that side door, "and you can make sure that the rice doesn't get scorched. Can you do that for me?"
Yabe leans in. Do I?
Do you? She like
Do I?
allows. Do you go downstairs, Conch?
Yeah, I'll help. Yeah.
Yeah, you go down the
That's
stairs and you
uh,
see it. Everything that I described earlier, you down a wood staircase, this ginormous pot. Like, actually, for the audience's sake, it's actually bigger than it was before, but
Ooh.
Conch doesn't know that. And you're just taking this big wooden spoon and just sort of scraping the bottom of this giant pot of yellow rice, and it smells so good as it's just wafting in front of you. And then you do realize that because it's on an open flame, yeah, somebody needs to be here to stir this every few minutes. Thank goodness I'm here. And there's just something about the way the food smells, and like I don't know if Conch feels a sense of purpose, but damn, the food smells good, and you're making sure it doesn't get burnt.
You have a
Uh,
task. You like tasks.
task.
oh yeah,
Like
Uh,
Among
he
Us.
likes
He
to be
likes a
helpful.
task.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to the top, and she Calypso looks at Yabe. I feel like you have a lot of questions, sword bearer. She
You,
glances down at the sword.
you also
It's
want
a
us to go
fishing
for this,
pole.
though? Yabe, do you want us to go for this? Was that like, should we also be like, oh, the rice needs stirring? Like, do you want some privacy? If you have big questions?
I I don't know.
Are
I
you
don't know
looking
what.
for Are you looking for
Oh,
ways to help other than your sword? Because that's the
Yes,
question you
I don't think
actually
this.
want the answer to.
I don't think this can help much of anyone right now.
You are absolutely right. That is one of the wisest things that I have heard. And I've lived a very long time.
How long?
rude.
Long enough to
Selena's
remember.
just gonna like look a little bit away, like I'm not hearing anything. I don't know what she's talking. Like she was probably the only one that never outright said her age for a reason. So she's like, oh,
Um, Calypso. Hmm. I would say. Hmm. How long is that? Long enough. Long enough to know that you have Brutus's eyes.
I do. I think um I think I should help Conch stir the rice.
Yes,
He looks
absolutely.
really
Absolutely.
uncomfortable.
I volunteered to cook the rice for the feast. So if you all would like to join me downstairs and, help cook and bring the rice and various other side dishes that the children and I are planning on bringing to the feast tonight, you're more than welcome. I'm going to be cooking all day, and it would really be a big help.
can I can I spend a token
Mhm.
and like notice the like heightened level of distress? Because like general
I don't think
anxiety
you
Ah,
is
need this.
fine.
I don't
what
And
think
you
you need
notice
to
it's
can
spend a
just
do
token for that.
what
yeah.
you can do is you can spend a token to ask a question move.
Well, what I was gonna do is spend a token to ease someone's pain, if only for a moment.
Yes,
Which
absolutely.
was like I can see that they're struggling to like advocate for
Absolutely.
themselves and say things, and so I think I'm just gonna like step to their side and like put a
He
hand on his
he
shoulder.
has like a white knuckle grip on his
Yeah,
pommel
yeah,
right
yeah. I can see
now.
that. So like
Yeah.
I would like put a hand on his shoulder and be like, Calypso, I don't mean to be like offensive or anything because I know you're a super awesome witchy person. I think that maybe we should take a break and maybe let
Yeah,
Yabe just, have some alone time to ponder the big things that you're saying that is breaking their brain right now. And then
I'm
Sure.
maybe
I'm all right,
maybe
Ophelia.
are you?
I will be.
Okay. And I'm like hoping that
So
either one, like the options here are one that gives you a chance to like be like, yes, I do need a step back if you need one, or two, just feel like someone's on your side, so it makes you feel a little like safer. And that's what I'm gonna spend my token on.
Um, do you have anything you need to do to prepare for your performance tonight?
Oh yeah. Yes. There is much to do, let me tell you. Kim has fabrics. I'd like to see them.
Uh, the Kim and Damien are like, yes, the show. We're gonna go deal with the show.
Yeah.
Please just yes, and they kind of swoop in and take the two of you away, like
Yeah.
uh,
We'll be back later.
yeah,
The show
back to
must go
like
on.
work on show stuff. So when you guys are all outside, right? Because the show
Mhm,
thing was more of an excuse than anything, and
mhm.
you're walking back to the last call. What do you say? What happens? Kim is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for Calypso to make you uncomfortable. I know she's usually a big bite. I just thought I
She
would
didn't.
introduce you."
She was just asking the question or answering one.
Oh, well,
Thank you for introducing us.
absolutely. And your friends seem to like her, and Celine apparently is her sister. That's strange.
They're not real sisters.
Celine said it was a witch thing. They're all sisters.
Yeah, they're like sisters. It's not that kind of sister.
Oh, well, I mean, they know each other.
Mhm. I think is it racist to be like they all know each other? But I think they actually do, right? Are they all in the oven?
Hello? Where am I?
Pause. Perhaps
Where
instead we say, is it prejudiced for,
sorry. Yes, it's
yeah,
a prejudice to say, do they all
where
know
am
each
I?
other?
yes, pause. Rewind. Instead
Rewind.
you
I'm
say,
sorry.
yes,
Sorry, I got too lost in the doesn't think about what she says person that I'm playing right now.
it happens. So instead, is it prejudiced?
Yes.
Uh, Kim says, yes, it would be.
Oh, okay.
Ophelia, why would you say something like that?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
It's
I just thought
okay.
it was. Oh, whew, I need to do some reading.
Yeah, no, we'll take you to the library later. Like,
Yes,
it's
please.
fine. Uh, no, witches are actually the person we should ask is not here.
Yeah.
And with that, we will pivot back to Celine and her sister in the room alone.
Celine is just sort of like fiddling with their hands a little bit because they're alone and they're scared if they're gonna ask like big heavy questions or not, and they're like, oh, oh dear.
So, how are your friends? Are you having a good time? Are you enjoying the road?
Oh yes, you know that I travel a lot anyways, and everything is good. I've been looking for that spot that I told you about with the
Mhm.
dragons, but I still can't seem to find it, unfortunately. So
It's
I
fine.
am
You
on the
have
moment.
drag you have Dragon Witch in the bag. I don't know why you won't just reach for it.
Oh,
Is it because your predecessor was the Witch of the Moon? You know we can switch titles. It doesn't have to be the same every life.
no, 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 no. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's I am trying my best with this title that I have now, so I don't really need the other one, you know. I think I am doing great at the same time because I'm getting stronger, but I would really like to still find that place. The
Well,
cries are painful.
are you have you become one of the travelers? The witches have been
Uh,
talking about it.
Celine is just gonna kind of ponder about it, being like,
It's okay. Um, she looks around and reaches into towards like a bucket of water that's nearby, like or like a little basin, right? Like a wash basin.
it's
Um, and she reaches out to it, uh, uh, and says, "I've made a pact with water."
Um, Celine, it's going to sigh a little bit. Is there like a fireplace around?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, they're just gonna kind of like reach their hand out towards the fire, and do like uh, anything, very little thing with the fire. I don't know, just let it like curl
Yeah,
around their hands or something, sort of
and it
thing.
it sort of curls, and then it kind of sparks, and then takes on a life of its own as this mote of living fire just sort of hovers there. Wow, this magic is very old. It's as old as ours.
It really seems so, and I'm still trying to understand it more, but it's very hard. Not a lot of things talk about it.
The old gods are choosing everyday people. They don't want to pick kings or princes or people of great destiny. It's amazing. It's almost like us, but different. I am
I
glad that you're with them. They don't know what it's like to live with magic.
No, they do not, especially I don't
Yeah.
think especially all of them. Each one of them has formed a pact. I was just as surprised when I found more people being able to use magic.
And such old magic, too. I mean, it's been us and the bards for many years keeping the old magics alive, and then the war changed everything.
Here's the thing that is slightly worrying me. Why do you think they're choosing people? Is this a sign? I'm kind of
I don't know. I feel like they just want to give us all a chance to start over.
I hope so. Some deserve it more than others in a way for all of the things they've been put through.
Yeah. And so, a little bit for brevity's sake, you all eventually, in a few hours' time, as the evening comes close, um, come to an amazing feast and celebration. There is an uproarious concert. There is a surprise ocarina solo at one point, if that is okay with Conk being invited in the midst
I
to.
don't know if it
I
is.
I don't know how to play it yet. This is new,
Yeah.
uh, but
And
I'll harmonize with
yeah,
somebody.
no, everyone's
But that's
harmonizes.
about it.
Everyone is really excited. The feast is delicious. That night there's a huge bonfire. Um, and everyone is wearing brightly colored masks. At some point there is a mask workshop where you all make masks.
Yay!
Um, and you're all by the fire. Uh having a wonderful time as plays of the moon goddess, the trickster moon goddess, are being put forth. Um, the four of you are together by the bonfire later in the evening. And what I want to ask the table, as the four of you have experienced, met all these people and had all these experiences and kind of reflecting within themselves, what what do you say or what happens to kind of wrap up the night before everyone goes to sleep? We'll start with Yabe.
I think before he turns in for the night, he would go to Calypso and apologize for his sudden exit, but thank her for her hospitality. And they're not his, they're mine. Is.
All right. And she accepts your apology with the kind of warm sincerity that perhaps your character would associate more with like an aunt than with a classic folklore witch. There's a warmth, a dia energy there. that accepts. And it's strange because like she will look you in the eye and she will say, I want to give you a gift. And the gift, I will warn you, is a pleasant lie. And it is not that I am lying to you, but it will be your lie. But I'm going to say it anyway because I care more about you having a warm and joyous holiday. I forgive you all of your past transgressions.
Thank you, Madam Thompson. I hope you have a good night's rest. That you wake up in the morning is beautiful for you.
Thank you. And I'm going to pivot over to Ophelia. How do you wrap up this night before you all turn in for sleep?
I am just trying to find the bit about folklore because I can't find it.
Oh
But
yeah, you can spend a folklore. You can spend a token to awaken a folklore immediately.
I don't have any more tokens. That's fine. Then I won't do that. Uh, then I think that
Can we give a token to one of our teammates?
Yes, you can, or you can spend the token instead in this moment. There's no initiative in Wanderhome, so
I'll go ahead and give Ophelia the token because it sounds
yeah,
like they have a story to say, to
yeah.
tell, or a folklore to spin.
All
If
right,
you would like it.
all right.
cool. Thank you.
Spend. You may spend a folklore to bring the place's folklore immediately into the scene, in this final scene that you're in.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay.
I'm. It's on
Which
the
folklore?
thing about like port. It's a port town, right? So it's the
Yes.
port
So here are your
folklore.
folklores.
Yeah.
The night the old emperor drank here, the eastern mist and the trouble it brings, the wood graft cut by the heaven's blade. Which three would you like to awaken in this final scene that you're in?
3 of them.
Yeah.
There's only 3 of them, or something of my own invention. Okay. I like the boat that would not sink. Um,
Oh, for this particular place, only has 3 folklores.
yeah.
The night the old emperor drank here, the eastern mist and the trouble it brings, and
Oh,
the root graft cut by the heaven's blade.
I'm looking at the wrong thing. That it's not isn't it a port city?
It is, but those are the port pick lists, and I picked
Oh,
from those lists to create the port.
oh, okay. I'm confused. Sorry, can you see them again? I have to see it in order to remember it. That's why I'm struggling.
Oh,
So if you go to the guide journal,
Yeah.
if you go to the guide journal,
Oh, I see it. I see it. It's lit. It's
yeah.
all lit up. Okay. Thank
okay,
you.
gotcha.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Um, okay, and I pick one of them out of the 3?
Yeah, just pick
Okay, okay,
one.
okay.
I will say the night the old emperor drank here is the one that's tied to the tavern, which is where you're physical. But
Mhm.
it could also be the eastern mist and the trouble it brings, or the root graft cut by the heaven's blade.
Yeah, I think the night the old emperor drank here is a good one, considering like we did a lot of alcohol based shenanigans today,
Okay,
and
all right.
yeah.
So you are at the bar. It's late. Lots of people have left. Yabe, you are actually in this final scene as well. Yabe, you're having one last drink before heading upstairs. You are in the bar. I think it's you and your guitar on stage alone, and you're just playing a Mazzy Star esque, like echoing acoustic folk song to kind of
Hmm.
ease everyone. A lullaby. They asked for a
Yeah.
lullaby. And it's you and maybe 6 other people, and you play this really old lullaby um that is like a one that the emperor used to sing to his children.
Hmm.
But you're drinking like a bar version of it that got
Hmm.
really popular. And it's an old song. Like the war was a long time ago, and the time of peace is not a time that you remember.
Hmm.
Um, but you're playing the song, and as you play it, ghostly apparitions
Ooh.
of uh that only you and Yabe can see
Mm.
fill refill the entire innkeep and tavern, and you see a recreation of, and I think this might be the first time you've put two and two together, an older man in his 40s that
Hmm.
looks like Yabe, but dressed in the full imperial regalia of
Ooh.
the last emperor, the peacekeeper, coming in. And Yabe, what is your reaction as you see this ghostly reflection of your grandfather come into the room?
He goes to his knees. He goes to one knee with head bowed and sort of just side.
And you see, what do you do in response, um,
Ophelia.
Ophelia?
Um, I think Ophelia, like at first, like has a moment of fear and panic because it feels a bit too much like the dance that you dance with the dead, and is like, "Oh,
Yeah.
what have I done? Oh shit!" And then realizes that it's just storytelling, and she's watching a story that's already happened, and is like, "Okay, that's
Okay.
fine." Not too
And
close.
yeah, and uh, you like you notice like as you start to slow down your playing,
Hmm.
it's starting to fade.
Oh,
And then when you get louder, it becomes more solid. The smoke actually starts getting, it's almost like the more rich and like projected and grounded your performance is, the more details out of these smoky apparitions that you can get of the past.
does Yabe look okay? Like another bowing, but like, are they upset?
Um,
Are you upset, Yabe?
are you mad at me?
Well, I just want to make sure this isn't like,
I think
traumatizing.
um after he collects himself and returns to his seat, it's pretty clear that he is moved by your playing and he is moved by your song.
Okay. Then she'll like, I think it falters for a second when,
You can
you
hear him
know,
very softly humming
Yeah,
yeah.
the song falters, everything kind of flickers and fades.
But then if I get
Uh
a nod from Yabe or like a look that they're okay with this, then I'll give her.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
moment where everything just fades as she stops playing. And it's up to Yabe. Do you want to nod, or do we want to just enjoy a moment of peace with the two of each other? Which would you like to do?
I hold on. Katie spent a token to awaken this folklore. I can't just be like, nuh-uh.
Well, I think it's
That's
awakened. It's just,
right. That's
yeah.
right. That's right. Okay. This is what we're going to do.
But I would
It
stop it
gets
if she wasn't comfortable, if he wasn't comfortable with it.
right. This is what I think happens. I think you stop playing. There's a moment of quiet, and then the smoke reforms, and it's just the emperor. And it's the emperor is in front of you, Yabe. And then he sits down, and a ghostly apparition appears like a hand that gives them a drink. And as at that point, all of the people, the six people in the audience, can see him. Like they couldn't see the full thing before, but now they
Yeah.
could see him, and they're all kind of coming out of their chairs, kind of shocked. And then the emperor takes a deep drink, turns, looks at you, and says, in a voice very similar to your father's, and says, "It is always good to see family on the road, and this tavern has always had the best mead." Whoa. And then he, the apparition disappears. And everyone's like, "Well, I'm going to bed." And everyone just like freaks out. They clear the room,
Yep.
like, "Oh,
I'll
it
start
was
playing
wonderful,
something
honey. We're
kind
gonna
of
like kiss, kiss.
lively. Like, up, but up, up,
We're gone." And then they're just like, you know what? It's the Kasia equivalent of Halloween. They just saw ghosts. They're getting out of here.
Fair.
Yep.
And the room kind of clears, and it's just sort of the two of you having shared this moment. Uh, so Celine, how do you finish up your night and then after that we will go over to our lightkeeper,
Uh,
and then we'll wrap up.
I think Celine is gonna ask Conch for smoke. And they're just gonna
You
chill.
chill. You are both. I'll say you guys are. There's like a little park area next to the inn where people
Mm,
can eat outdoors, like a little smoking patio. And you
yes.
guys are both out there enjoying a smoke. There's a peach tree that's kind of planted in the corner of the smoking patio for like shade in the summertime. Uh, and you're both sitting under there enjoying a nice quiet moment
Oh,
with the
I
bird
normally
up
don't
in the
smoke at
tree.
night, but I'm making an exception.
And then the tree, your light bringer is up in a branch in the peach
Mhm.
tree, just softly
Cool.
illuminating happily and occasionally nipping at a peach.
Yeah,
Nice.
Celine isn't really gonna do much apart from the smoke because they're still living with this fear that the magic path is given to people either to prepare them for something, just because
Mhm.
they're very over worried about everything because they know what a huge toll it took on them when they got their magic.
Yeah.
So, but she's also worried about like Yabe and the Conch as well because one of them just had to live with the fact that they got told about their father and everything. And I feel like that's the moment maybe when Celine put two and two together and was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, I heard about this. I read this in books. And for
Yeah.
Conch, she's just worried that he had to give like the instrument that he's been keeping for so long away.
Is there
So,
any moves or anything, Conch, that you would like to do? Because it just seems like Celine is just
uh,
going to worry over everybody.
Yes.
well, with this, I think with this, Conch probably senses that they don't want to talk, and so is they've been around each other for a month, and he senses that that's probably the right move. But he basically says, you good? Uh,
Celine is like because she's very easily spoke. She almost like kind of jumps,
mhm.
does a little big toe of a puff. The smoke's just kind of. Oh yes, yes, yes. I'm just there's there's a lot at the moment. It's just I'm
Mhm.
trying to to make sure that everybody is being accommodated with their magic. How do you feel about your magic at
It's
the moment?
it's up in the air. Um, if if you ever do want to talk about these things, I know it sounds like you're managing a lot, and I know what that's like.
Celine, it's gonna give him a nod, just kind of lean back and look up and be like, hmm, well, I usually imagine uh, a power that I used to have when I feel sad. The one where I could take at some point the sorrow and the worries of someone, and I could put it in a little necklace and just store it away. So I sort of think I picked up this thing where I do the same for myself, but in the physical sense. But then it was weird because I met all of you and I started traveling with you instead of traveling alone. And now I'm more thinking of the power that I used when I was a child, which was being able to read all the stories from the stars. So it makes me happy to see that the stars will at least remember the fact that you are doing alright, even if I will be there or not in the future. So Celine is just kind of really shyly putting this
Yeah.
thing together as she's walking, a little bit
Mhm.
embarrassed to say this whole thing, but she's also trying to sort of
Mhm.
reassure Conch of the fact that she cares.
And like
Mhm.
as immediately as you say that, there is a shower, a meteor shower of falling stars immediately just happens, like as you say that, and you feel the sense of a promise that all four of you have made to yourselves, and it is a silent promise. It is not one that is said out loud. And that promise is that one day, all of you will find home. And that is where we are going to conclude our first chapter of the North Star. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Nerds with Dice, for this opportunity to share this story with you all. Let us go ahead and close things out. I will go ahead and start uh, with Celine. Celine, tell us where who plays you and where we can find you on the internet.
All right. I am Rice Cakes, and I played in this session. I will play in future sessions. Celine. You can find me on Twitter or X and Blue Sky. For as the original Ores, which I know is a little bit of a mouthful, but I do art there, and I'm hoping in the future there will also be art of these cute characters because I am falling in love with them by the minute.
Yes.
Aw.
So go check that out.
All right. Next, Cat or Crit Star.
Oh,
Crit it.
Katie.
Katie.
Are you talking
Katie.
about
I'm
me? I was
sorry,
like,
Katie.
they're so
I'm
close
sorry,
to
Yes,
Katie.
things, but they weren't quite right.
Ophelia. Ophelia, tell
Yes,
us who
Ophelia.
plays you.
Hi, I'm Katie. You can find me on the socials at Critical Spark 20. You can also find me lurking in your backyard looking for trash or with my foot in my mouth because of careless comments. And what else? I don't know. I don't think I'm doing anything right now other than this. Keep your eyes on Girls Run These Worlds because we're launching a bunch of Christmas one shots. So I imagine I will do at least one of those, maybe all of them if they'll let me, because they all sound really, really good.
Ooh,
And that's about it.
ooh. Okay, let's see here. Alex.
Hey, everybody. I'm Alex. I publish and perform as Lex Wilson. I'm a writer and actor in North Carolina in the US. Thank you for watching. Hector, thank you for including me. I am Alex Zotica on Twitter, lexwilson.bsky.social, I think, on Blue Sky. And
We're working on it.
some stuff to promote. I wrote on the video game Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is available on a lot of different platforms. And I think it's in the Arcadia Bay collection currently on the modern consoles. Um, I Curse of Aurora is a film I recently acted in, a horror film, which I believe is available on a lot of streaming platforms for free, like Amazon Prime, etc. And we shot that just before the pandemic, and I think it was like number 3 in some parts of Quebec because no other movies were being released at the time, and no one was going to movies. So
Oh.
it didn't take very many to get us really high up there. And lastly, Hector Rice and I are all doing another actual play on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I think it might wrap up around the same time as this one does. It's called Hollow's Vale. It's
Mhm.
with the Misadventurers League. So check that out.
Yep.
Rice and I smoke together there too. Just it's the
It's
crossover
the
potential
crossover.
is
Yeah.
going
Gotta
to be
have the
great
crossover.
someday.
Gotta have the crossover.
I mean, we've got magic. Come on, we can make
We
this
can
work.
make this work.
So,
You sure
thank
you
you.
want to ruin the very nice world that this is for a horror game?
Ugh. All right. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Sebastian. Caesar.
Hi, I was Sebastian, also known as Clown Dream or just Clown for short. You can find me at Clown Dream on Tumblr, on Itch.io, on Twitter as well, but with a little hyphen in the middle between the two words. Uh, I, I make horror, I make gay horror, I write games. There are very few of them, and they're very small. But I like to do what I do.
But really
Uh,
cool, I bet.
they are very cool. I have played
I'm gonna
them.
go
They're
play
fun.
one after this, I think, because I want some horror vibes.
Yes, for real. I am your guide. I am Hector at
Woo.
Keiichi Okami on Twitter, Instagram, and on Blue Sky. I am everywhere. Check out my games on itch.io. Check out my actual play performances on various different channels, such as Horde of Tales and Girls Run These Worlds. I am here. We were going to be here every Tuesday for the next 3 Tuesdays here on Nerds with Dice. On Mondays, 3 Mondays out of the month, I'm over at GR Crew, Greater Restoration, where we are playing Blue Rose. And then, of course, last but not least, Wednesdays, you can see myself, Rice, and Alex getting involved in 90s teen horror shenanigans over at Hollow's Vale and the Misadventures League. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for being here with the first chapter of this ride. And I look forward to chapter 2. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next time.
See you. Bye bye.